Perception Index puts Hungary squarely at the bottom of all EU countries. On a scale of 0 to 100, with 0 being highly corrupt and 100 being clean, Hungary scored 42. Followed by Bulgaria with 45 and Romania with 46. This metric puts Hungary at 76th place out of 180 countries worldwide. Transparency International slammed Hungary for over a decade of systemic breach of the rule of law, which allows corruption to thrive unsanctioned. When you look at Europe as a whole, Russia is the country with the most financial crime, according to Transparency International, scoring 26 out of 100 and placing 141st out of 180. But if we change the ranking system, the results change too. Eurobarometer's 2024 survey on EU citizens' attitudes towards corruption found that 68% of Europeans consider corruption widespread in their country. Among those, Greece was perceived to have the worst dirty money problem, with 98% of citizens saying corruption was widespread there. Next came Portugal and Malta, with 96% and 95% respectively. Hungary actually came in 8th place, but a clear majority of people still consider the country corrupt, 88%. Stay tuned on Euronews and Euronews.com for the latest updates.
Around 200,000 people have been ordered to leave the EU in 2024 so far. The number of repatriation orders, however, went down by around 10% from the second quarter of 2023 to the second quarter of 2024. France issued the highest number of repatriation orders, deporting around 3,800 people from the EU, followed by Germany and Sweden. The number of migrants ordered to leave, however, largely exceeds those who are actually repatriated. Out of 96,000 migrants who received the repatriation order, less than a third actually left the EU. Algerians and Moroccans received the most repatriation orders, each accounting for 7% of the total. However, if we look only at those who were actually repatriated, the largest groups returned were Georgians, Albanians, and Turkish.
This program is brought to you by Morocco, Kingdom of Light.
Wow, we're in Marrakesh, and what a place. You can really feel the life in this city and choose your own adventure here. Like this, the exciting and famous UNESCO World Heritage Site, Gemma El Fida Square.
There is so much to see and experience. All around you is an abundance of scents and colors, exploring the narrow streets of Marrakesh's Medina, with incredible arts and crafts on display. While you're at the Medina, you must visit the iconic landmark of Dar el Basha. Today, this incredible 18th century palace is a museum and home to several art galleries showcasing Marrakesh's unique culture and history.
I am lucky enough to be at the Royal Golf Marrakesh, which is truly a paradise to play golf in. And this famous course has got a rich history. It is indeed the second oldest course in Morocco. Is that right, Stefan?
It is. Welcome, Amy. Welcome to Royal.
Good to see you. Thank you. What an absolute pleasure it is to be here.
Thanks for coming. This is a historical place. It's our little paradise. Wow. We hope you enjoy your day.
It's looking absolutely stunning. What a true pleasure to be here. So, Stefan, just how much history is there at this course?
Well, we're almost 100 years old. So the original course, 18 holes, built 1927, and the new course, 2009.
So where are we now? This is looking spectacular.
This is our signature hole. It's Brigitte Bardot. You can see by the way it's shaped, and it's a beautiful, challenging par 3.
It's like an oasis with thousands of different trees lining the fairways. And for animals, you're probably going to see gazelle walking around. They are so unique with how they handle sustainability and managing their water consumption so carefully. This here is recycled water from the city of Marrakesh that is used to water all the golf courses of the city. To top it off, Royal Golf Marrakesh has been awarded Best New Clubhouse by Golfing magazine. So it really is the most ideal place to end the day. Well, any golfer deserves to be treated to a wonderful massage. So where better than the Royal Mansour, which has been awarded World's Best Spa. Now that I've fully pampered myself, it's time for another round of golf. I'm here at the Fairmont Royal Palm Golf and Country Club, which is known for its botanical beauty, and as you can see, it leaves a fantastic first impression. And Clément here can tell us what more is in store for us.
Amy, welcome. Let me show you around.
Thank you. Well, I'm on a very special island tee off. This is the 10th. It's a par 4. Very tricky, not least because of all the water you've got to navigate across. But wow, divine view of rolling hills beyond. Clément, can you show us how it's done?
Sure. Let me try, Amy.
The Royal Fairmont has a modern yet relaxed atmosphere. The course is wrapped in landscaped water gardens, giving visitors a sublime escape from the bustle of the city.
I'm on the 3rd tee. This is the signature hole, and wow, it looks like a painting out there. It's so beautiful.
After a hard day out on the course, Marrakesh still has much more to offer. Catching up and relaxing with friends in one of Marrakesh's many atmospheric rooftop terraces creates some wonderful memories. Marrakesh is globally recognized for its cultural life and artistic scene. It's a city that has inspired renowned designers such as Yves Saint Laurent. I was lucky enough to witness some of the latest fashion designs to hit the catwalk. Marrakesh is an unmissable and ultra-popular golf destination, and there's even more of Marrakesh to see in the next episode of Golf Travel Tales. Here are the great Marrakesh courses to hit the ball at: Golf Amelkis, Palm Golf Palmeraie, Golf Al Madin, Golf Sufit, Montgomery, Samana Country Club, Noria Golf, Palm Golf Arica, Royal Golf, Fairmont Royal Palm, the Tony Jacqueline, and Atlas Golf.
This program is brought to you by Morocco, Kingdom of Light.
Welcome to Media City Qatar, a hub for media companies, entrepreneurs and innovators. We support companies with an innovative ecosystem and modern media regulations, enabling them to make compelling content and pioneer groundbreaking technologies. We cater to businesses of all sizes across various media sectors. We also foster national champions to help them succeed. We are shaping the future of media and helping in the economic diversification of Qatar. We are the architects of possibilities, bringing together innovation, creativity and entrepreneurship to create success stories unlike any other. Welcome to our world, where every story has the power to inspire and transform. Join us at Media City Qatar, the future home of media.
Introducing Euronews Health, your health and well-being digital destination. With healthcare at the center of our lives, our preoccupations, our future. We decode and demystify health by making facts, policies and updates accessible to understand the future of healthcare in Europe. Well-being is now at your fingertips with Euronews Health, your guide to health and happiness.
Discover the Euronews app. Stay connected anytime, anywhere. Get the latest
Hello,
news
good morning.
in video.
I was waiting for that advertisement to
Download
be
the
like,
Euronews
ha ha ha, this is a joke. And it wasn't a joke. It was just legit. Welcome to the Media House Qatar. Hello, good morning. How are you doing? I'm doing badly. Woke up really early, opened Twitter, saw shit on Twitter, went back to sleep, got annoyed. Yeah. Balkan? I didn't see what Balkan was about. I saved some videos on Balkan, specifically on Serbia, that I really, really want to watch. Where's my Balkan thing? This one, because it talks about Serbia's economy doing well, and it's not really what you would say from the situation. So I'm kind of happy about watching that. But also, since I saw Discord was mentioning American elections, I kind of want to go through this, because we haven't really been seeing what Russians are talking about for a while. I've been intentionally avoiding them. I see it as like silencing them in a way. But now I'm kind of interested. I'm kind of interested to see what they're up to. You got vacation? You got vacation today? Hey, really? Congratulations. Holy shit. I don't. I don't. Not only do I not, man, I feel for you. Because I have the opposite of vacation today. It's going to be a worse day at work than usually. Because we're having the... There's a word for that. Like when you have to count the inventory every year, you have one day where they come by surprise into your workplace and then they make you count the inventory, and it's like a way to check if all the finances are proper and, you know, that there has been no sushi business. We're doing that today by surprise. I learned about it in the morning. We were updated in the group chat. So when I do get to work, I'm gonna have to do more business than usual. I'm not really happy. Spending it watching Twitch Politics. Hey, nice. I hope you're gonna have a nice time. Twitch Politics had, what was it? Was it yesterday? When they had Hassan debating Asmongold? You've been watching that. Also, I hear Asmongold has been banned on at least one of his accounts. So I don't even know if he counts as Twitch Politics, but for some reason now he does. Yeah, it's apparently as bad as you can imagine it is. I've seen someone say that it's like if Destiny got brain damaged and then tried to debate, was it Nick Fuentes or one of these other people? So just so you have an expectation. I haven't watched it. I was angry enough, you know, watching Twitter reactions to North Koreans coming to fight for Russia and Europe, like, sleeping over it. I was angry enough, so I was like, no, I don't really feel like watching these two idiots trying to debate. I feel none of them is going to have smart points, which is not that embarrassing for Asmongold, since he's a gamer dude. But like, come on. Let's be real. I feel they have like equal understanding of what the fuck is going on. Putin, nuke Putin. Yeah, possibly. I do wonder if there's anything about Trump specifically, but also it's Russians. So it's very likely just whatever USA does, we're going to destroy it. Because we are so strong. Oh man, I forgot about this one.
отдает примерно
50%
голосов за
Камалу
Харрис,
а
Трампа 47%.
Это внутренние враги. Весь этот сброд, с которым нам нужно иметь дело, которые ненавидят нашу страну. Это куда больший враг, чем Китай и Россия.
Внутренние враги. Трамп повторил эту фразу в интервью с Fox News.
Я считаю, что большая проблема – это внутренние враги. У нас есть очень плохие люди. У нас есть больные люди, радикально левые безумцы. С этим можно очень легко справиться, если необходимо, с помощью Национальной гвардии или, если по-настоящему понадобится, и армии.
Hassan doesn't get banned for all his shit for years, but the game gets banned instantly. Yeah, I
Он
don't see
говорит,
it.
что будет использовать
He was
армию.
really
Подумайте об
supportive
этом.
of,
Мы знаем, против кого он будет действовать.
Was it Hamas or Hezbollah recently? Where he specifically said he sees nothing wrong in what they're doing. It's like, it's a USA streaming platform. Are we talking about a man
Конгрессмен Адам Шиф ответил
saying
на
he
эту
sees
цитату и
nothing
написал в
bad
соцсетях,
with
что он
USA
подстрекал
recognized
толпу
terrorist
Капитолия. Он
organizations?
теперь призывает к
Why is he
насилию
allowed
против тех,
in?
кто
I
ему
feel he shouldn't be allowed in. I went into Twitter fights over this, and people were like, wait, sorry, Russians, shut the fuck up. Went into Twitter fights on this because it was so stupid. People were like, oh no, they can't ban him for defending terrorists because not everyone in the world sees these groups as terrorist groups, you know? So like USA can't impose their definition of what a terrorist group is onto everyone else, which is idiotic. Because it is a USA streaming platform first and foremost, but also they can ban us for saying fucking slurs. How is that not imposing USA rules on us? You think in Croatia I get punished in any fucking way for saying a slur? It's such a stupid thing. Like, of course USA makes the rules. It's their own stupid platform. And they can't ban you for supporting terrorists? I don't know. It's so stupid. And for such a long time, doing interviews with them and everything. And it's just alright. How the fuck is that alright? What is that? I'm so angry over that.
Республиканский кандидат считает, что его оппонентка тупит.
И этот человек, с которым мы соревнуемся. И она неумная женщина. Это правда.
Скрывал. Нужно задаться вопросом, может, его сотрудники хотят, чтобы он прятался? Нужно задаться этим вопросом. Они боятся, что люди увидят, что он слишком слаб и неустойчив, чтобы руководить Америкой. Камала Харрис жестко прошлась по Дональду Трампу, который отказался публиковать свои медицинские данные. За то, что он обещал сделать в августе. Почему он этого не сделал? Он стал бы самым старым президентом в новейшей истории, если его изберут. Не заслуживают ли избиратели права знать, что говорят врачи по поводу его пригодности для того, чтобы занять пост президента? Он отказывается публиковать информацию про свое здоровье. Я это сделала. Он отказывается давать интервью американским 60 минутам. Как любой другой кандидат от двух основных партий на протяжении половины века. И он не хочет проводить еще одни дебаты.
Итак, Дональда Трампа таки подозревают в неадекватности, имея в виду его возраст, преклонный в доказательства демпропаганда. В частности, Вашингтон-Пост приводит случай из Пенсильвании. Там Дональд отказался отвечать на вопросы, предложив просто сплясать.
Давайте закончим с вопросами и давайте просто послушаем музыку. Давайте отдадимся нашей музыке. Кто к черту хочет слушать вопросы?
It's like 20 minutes or something, wasn't it? I'm genuinely rotting. Oh, look at this dude though. I'm feeling this dude. I like this dude. I don't know who that is, but he looks positively depressed. Yes, never oppose their views on anyone either. It's only in crucial situations, which people like that desperate to try to make, just to say, oh, look, USA is bad. Oh, yeah, I had also. Man. I've been through these fights. People being like, yeah, USA is forcing Europe to follow everything that USA wants it to. Like, even if you look just at the situation with Russia invading Ukraine. 2008, NATO summit where Ukraine and Georgia are requesting to become NATO members because they want to be safe from Russia. USA was supporting it. USA was like, yeah, we need to protect these from Russia. And then Germany was like, no, we absolutely don't. Russia is not going to do anything. Is that correct, Putin? And Putin was like, yeah, I would never. Why would you even accuse me of that? Ew. And then he goes and kills everyone. When it came to Nord Stream 2, again, USA was opposing it. if we're actually looking at like a super villain imposing their will onto everyone else, I feel Merkel would be quite a good candidate there, because she pushed for Nord Stream 2 despite the fact, not just USA, like USA is irrelevant here, but like the entirety of Eastern fucking Europe was against the deal. But now we're blaming the USA, even though USA wasn't even on that side. It makes no sense. It's like European Union is a slave of the USA. And then you point out how European Union opposes USA, and then it's like, oh yeah, but that doesn't count. That doesn't count really as opposition. They still did what they wanted, despite USA opposing it. But it doesn't count, it doesn't matter. They're still somehow slaves to the USA. And then when you dig deeper into it, it's always like, oh, so you think European Union is a slave to USA because like European Union allows gay marriages, and you see USA as like the global homo superpower. It's always that. I've genuinely never reached a more, I don't know if I even want to call it a stable answer, but like a more direct answer than that one. Like, yeah, Europe now tolerates LGBT, and I think USA forced them to do this. So that's why I see them as slaves to USA. Literally, like, dumbest fucking logic you can imagine. You ready for 4 years of Trump? I don't really think it's... Man, I don't think it's gonna matter that much. Genuinely. He's a horrible option, obviously. But, like, I'm not seeing Kamala as someone having balls to do anything reasonable. And it feels like, you know what it feels like to me? You know how, when Russia was in a situation where Navalny was killed, right? So Navalny is killed, and the emotions are running high. And people are like, do we protest? Do we protest? Do we go out on the street and, like, fight? And then you had the opposition members, because of course you have, because they're all Kremlin projects. You had them being like, no, guys, we're going to vote. No, wait until the elections. Calm down, calm your emotions. We're not getting out on the street anytime soon. Let's go out for the elections and let's vote. So what they did is, in their minds, they created like this timeline of when it's appropriate to do some changes in their action. And the timeline was like, okay, here's the election, so here's where we do an action. And by the time the election comes, you already are emotionally lower. And then when they do stupid shit like, oh, let's stand on the street to show Putin we don't like him, people see that as an appropriate response to a man getting tortured to death, right? Because the emotions are already down and the story is down and everyone kind of forgot about it. I think Georgians are doing the same thing right now, because Georgia is having elections very, very soon, so keep an eye out on that. But they kind of see these elections as a switch in their policy, you know? It's like, oh, okay, guys, Russia, the new Russian law is fighting against what it sees as foreign agents in Georgia, and LGBT people are treated horribly. We killed a trans woman just when the law went into power because we fucking could. The situation is absolutely deteriorating, but like, we're not going to protest because we're waiting for the elections. And then we'll see if the election changes something. So you kind of wait for the election, and then when the election comes, it just gives people another chance to go, oh, okay, the election is here. Oh, and they stole it? Georgian Dream stole it? Okay, guys, we can wait until the next ones, I guess. We can just, like, divert the action to something else. And what Europe's doing right now is doing the same thing with USA elections. It's not even our own, it's the USA ones, which is like, do we need to get really fucking panicky because Russia is trying to shoot down our airliners, and it's sending bombs into their hell, and it's trying to poison European water supply, and it's doing cyber attacks against our institutions? Like, do we need to do something? Do we need to panic? No. Wait until we see how the elections in USA go. Just like, wait a little bit until we see what happens. And it's kind of just calming everything down. And then when that passes, there's going to be another stupid excuse, like a month or so later, that's going to be calming everything down again. So it just won't do anything. Like, I'm so angry about it. 1 year of Trump, then his dementia fully kicks in, and 3 years of Vance. Oh yeah, Vance is incredibly stupid. I'm feeling like Trump with his brain already rotting and everything. I'm feeling he might be less of a danger than Vance is. Because Vance actually has agency while Trump's rotting away. He had an interview published, I think yesterday or something. It just blabbers on. Man has no fucking idea what's going on. It's like if you ever had a family member who was really, really old with dementia, so they're just like blabbering around and everyone feels pity and listens to them. That's what interviews with Trump feel like recently. So I don't know. But I'm scared of Vance, holy shit. Quite optimistic with Kamala. She will be more supportive than Biden. Oh, you think? Man, I wish. I hope you're correct. I truly, truly hope you're correct. I have no idea. I'm not too positive about it. Not even sure why. I don't think she ever said something that bad. You know what I mean? And I know they talked about her likely removing certain people from power who have been slowing down the aid and everything. So I'm guessing it wouldn't be impossible. I just don't know. I don't know. It feels to me she's just going to be doing the same shit. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe we'll be lucky. Maybe she's going to be like a more direct version. Because I did see people talk about how, currently she can't really do much. Because, Biden is still in power and she's not supposed to oppose him too much. So when she gets into power, she is then going to be able to change a lot of policies. But I'm also scared that it's like, just putting a later date on action, and that nothing's really going to happen. Oh, Slippers, you're alive! Holy shit! How are you doing? Hey yo! It's my before work morning, so I'm able to be live actually. I have to go to work in, what is it, 2 hours? 2 hours, yeah. Pink toy from Antel with a big ass nose. Fuck off. Just fuck up. Yo, Trump? Nah. I was the one yelling at you. I was live 2 times before you're yelling. And then I was live on Monday. And now I'm live today. I'm hoping to do another stream on Friday, really. I'm hoping to be like semi-regular this week, because I don't know when I work next week. I have no idea, genuinely. At the gym or sleeping. Hey, I hope the gym is going alright. I hope you're having a lot of fun in the gym. I hope you're kicking asses there. He won't run again if he loses. If Kamala wins, the MAGA Trump crowd will get weakened a lot. Could mean more bilateral support for Ukraine. I'm hoping you're correct. I'm really hoping you're correct. My thing is that, like, I see Trump said something, and I don't trust it. I don't trust Trump. I don't trust MAGA. I don't trust Republicans overall. I think they're scum. Recently, and I feel at the current state of USA, where MAGAs are so deeply embedded into the Republican Party, I feel the only way to be Republican is to be against USA itself, right? So I don't trust none of them. I don't trust them at all, and I'm quite concerned that if he loses by a small margin, there's going to be some problems. But hey, I am hoping more bilateral support, though, definitely. That's a point I haven't really thought about. If the radical Republicans get weakened and lose a lot of their positions, and especially if we're lucky and Dems get more seats, then we could be seeing a better situation. So yeah. You're gaining? Hey, nice! Congratulations! You reminded me last time we talked about gym, you reminded me to do my squats, so thank you for that. Because I almost forgot. Also, I'm trying to train my arms, and I'm not... How the fuck do you do that? I want to have triceps. I want to have muscles, so when I do... it's like... just nothing's going on, really. I have been training them for 3 times. But nothing's going on anyways. Live USA presidential voting day stream? Oh wait, when is it? When exactly is it even? I haven't looked at it. I might be able to, actually. I might be able to, genuinely. But I don't know when it is, so I have to check. 5th of November. It's 5th, wait. Huh. Oh, shit. If it was later, it would have been better for me. If it was a bit later, it would have been better. But I'll say when I work on the 5th. I have no idea when I work. Yeah, I know I don't work on the 1st. I don't work on the 18th. I do work on the 17th, which is Sunday. So because I work 17th, I should be having one free day to spend in the entirety of November, bar the second whole week in it. So maybe, have to see how it goes. Are we positive about it? Do we want to watch it? Do you not want to just like kind of look at the results quickly and then run? Because I don't know, I'm scared. I'm a bit worried.
Мы не можем, естественно, показать целиком, но,
How do
как
they
вы
even
могли
do
обратить
the...
внимание, Дональд менял
Is it
композиции
useful
в
in
общей
USA to watch
сложности,
like
танцевал аж 39
predictions
минут.
throughout the whole
США
day, or do
переносимся
people
на
mostly
прямой
just
связи Игорь
get proper
Наймушин. Игорь,
results in the
здравствуйте.
evening?
Итак,
I guess they also
голосование
get
по почте
proper
же
results in the
началось.
evening, like here.
Кто там у вас в
Last time
лидерах
here was really,
США?
really fun because the predictions
Ольга,
were
здравствуйте, спасибо за приглашение.
way
Действительно,
wilder than what actually
голосование
turned out
идет.
to be
Сейчас
results
в
in the
нем
evening.
принимают участие американцы из порядка 10 штатов. Все это, конечно, сопровождается обвинениями со стороны обоих кандидатов в снижении когнитивных способностей каждого из своих оппонентов. В частности, вот Трамп сейчас объявляет о том, что надо бы проверить Харрис на когнитивные способности, потому что она слишком
See, I had the
говорит,
bot
возможно, что ей просто
on Monday, and you weren't there, and now today I don't have it, and you're there.
Предвыборные планы, как и на экономические,
That's
так и на
some sort of like
международные, и на общественные,
cosmic
то там
injustice.
нет никакой конкретики. Харрис со своей стороны, конечно же, также обвиняет Трампа в том, что он уже не тот, что раньше, и вообще представляет огромную угрозу для американской демократии. Но надо признать, что американский президент, бывший американский президент, возможно, и будущий, в своих выступлениях неоднократно повторяется, говорит, довольно-таки пространные речи и действительно дает повод задуматься о своих умственных способностях в 79 лет, когда он не сильно отстает от Джо Байдена, от нынешнего президента. Тем не менее, вот на фоне таких повсеместных обвинений друг друга, на фоне максимально плотной президентской гонки, в которой участвуют оба кандидата, сейчас действительно невозможно предсказать, кто победит 5 ноября, когда в стране пройдут всеобщие президентские выборы.
Спасибо вам большое. На прямой связи из Вашингтона Игорь Наймушин.
Ooh.
This is one of the violent incidents tied to Vladimir Putin in 2024. It's not on the battlefield. It's a shopping center in Poland's capital city. The Russian president is waging a covert war in Europe. Assassination attempts, cyber attacks, and arson. This sudden increase in Russian strikes relies on local proxies and criminal networks. The aim is to cause maximum chaos without triggering an all-out war with NATO. We've mapped the disorder for the first time and found a pattern in Putin's plans. August 2023.
That was funny. It's like when people put dots on pyramids and then like...
The following February, he's shot dead in Spain.
Yeah.
2 months later, investigators in Poland foil a plot to assassinate Ukrainian President Zelensky. In July, US intelligence services reveal a second plot has been thwarted. This time to assassinate Armin Papaga, the CEO of Germany's largest arms manufacturer. He'd recently announced plans to open a new armored vehicle plant inside Ukraine.
Over the 12 months, we will deliver 250 vehicles, which is a lot.
Which is a lot.
Assassination attempts aren't the only way to sabotage the West. The Kremlin has other, more explosive tactics. In May, toxic clouds spread over parts of Berlin after a fire at a factory run by the Deal Group. a German company which builds air defences for Ukraine. German police initially pointed to a technical defect, but more recently, Western intelligence services have indicated links to Russia. This is an emerging pattern of attempts to disrupt military installations across Germany. A few weeks earlier, 2 German-Russian nationals were arrested in Bayreuth. They were charged with plotting explosive and arson attacks on military locations, including American bases. And their goal? To undermine the military support provided by Germany to Ukraine. The Kremlin is also targeting civilian locations. In March, a warehouse in London was set alight in the middle of the night. The building housed 2 Ukraine-linked logistics companies, Odyssey and Meist. In 2022, Odyssey had raised money to send aid to Ukraine. 7 were arrested for the attack. 2 of them are the first to be charged under the UK's new National Security Act, brought in to deal with new threats from hostile states like Russia. It deals with espionage, sabotage, and persons acting for foreign powers. None of the men charged are Russian citizens. Prosecutors allege that Dylan Earl enlisted and paid others to carry out the attack, after being recruited online by the Russian Wagner Group. These arrests are part of a pattern. In the last year, at least 48 individuals have been arrested across Europe in connection with sabotage plots for Russian secret services. The majority of them are local proxies, recruited online. Many have existing ties to criminal groups. This reliance on proxies is a new tactic. After Putin's invasion of Ukraine, hundreds of diplomats were expelled from Europe. Many were intelligence officers undercover. But the Kremlin is now making the operation more professional. Russia's military intelligence agency, the GRU, has a group focused on sabotage and assassinations abroad. Unit 29155. It was responsible for the Novichok nerve agent attack on the Skripals in 2018. That unit is now restructuring and expanding, making operatives harder to identify and preparing for more attacks.
By the way, can I just say, you cannot imagine my anger. You cannot imagine my fucking anger when, like, a few days ago, it was posted, was it BBC or something, I don't know, that, like, UK is now considering Putin to be responsible for ordering these poisonings. Now, 2024, now they figured it out. Now they're like, oh yeah, we can openly blame Russia now. Now. Took them fucking years. Now. It's so offensive. Your own fucking territory. People poisoned on your own fucking territory. It takes you years to be like, hey, you know what, it's fucking obvious it was Putin. I don't know. I'm just so angry. I'm so fucking angry. Hey, yo, daddy. The Kremlin been naughty again? Yeah, it's being naughty and we're doing nothing about it. So, full on to terrorist territory, absolutely. Full absolute terrorism against our countries and we're doing nothing, so... Hey, yo, Cademan, how are you doing? How's life? It's absolutely concerning to me that we're doing nothing about it. I don't know. And then it reminds me of the thing posted in Discord about how Ukraine is very likely to lose this if we don't actually, do something and change the way we are approaching this. And I said that there's many stupid responses to that tweet. And there actually is, because if you look through the responses, it's mostly people just completely minimizing the danger of allowing Russia to win here. It's people being like, okay, yeah, so like even if Russia rules Ukraine, it's not like this is going to weaken our countries. Imbeciles. Just imbeciles. Just full-blown out idiots. That I don't know. I don't understand. I genuinely don't fucking understand. They're killing people in our own countries. They have spies fucking everywhere. They're trying to sabotage everything they can sabotage. And you go, oh yeah, you know what? Giving them a victory, thus emboldening their coalition with China and with Iran and with Hezbollah and with Hamas and with fucking Talibans, that's a good choice. Yeah. China doing military exercises around Taiwan right now? Yeah, I sure want to encourage more of that shit. It feels like part of it is just Europe being really slow in acting. So I guess to some people it like minimizes the danger because it's like, oh, the politicians are not panicking, so we shouldn't panic either. And another part of it is just genuine mental retardation. Because I don't know how you can look at the current situation and be like, yeah, you know what I want? I want to encourage Russia. I want to give them a little reward. Yeah, so by all means, Russians, take over these countries. Yeah, you can also take Georgia and take Moldova at this point, where you're also doing it. Feel free to, absolutely. Good luck. What are we doing? Just idiotic, I don't know. Terrorism is just another word for freedom fighters against the evil Western democracies. That too. How did you think decolonization happens? Writing papers? I'm just angry. It's beneficial for the British if Europe becomes weak. It's in no way beneficial for the British if Europe becomes weak. in no way would it help them. Military checkpoints in Moldova? Yeah, that too. And we're just like, yeah. Even Romania, though. Like, all right, Europe. Because I understand we're like sucking off the Westerners. No, I don't understand that either. I'm angry about that too. But like Romania, I don't know, fucking do something. Just is the country to do something. What are you doing? One you driving to one? Yeah, he just like passed on. He was like, what right do you have to stop me? And genuinely, what right do they have to stop him? They have no right to stop him. But also those Russians looked really fucking young. The one he was talking to, that was like, that looked almost like a teenager. I don't know. What the hell is he doing there? The fuck was he around? I guess it's like when you're a relatively powerful family in Russia and you need to send your son to do some military shit in order to get a better position. You send them to like go to Moldova or something because you know they're not present there. Because I don't know why a kid would be there. That was like a dumb little stupid child. He had no response. The dude was like, what right do you have to tell me I'm not allowed to pass and I'm not allowed to film you? Like, what gives you the right? And the kid is like,
this unit was linked to cyber assaults for the first time, targeting government services, healthcare sectors, and transport networks.
I'm angry, my dude.
Putin is testing the West's defenses. Looking at the incidents together reveals a complicated pattern. The Kremlin is using criminal middlemen to destabilize Europe from within. The aim is to cause maximum chaos and undermine support for Ukraine, without triggering.
Oh, he's not running out of soldiers because he's importing new ones from North Korea. So, what do you mean running out? Foreign politics speaker of AfD is working for a university in Moscow. Great, lovely, incredible. Visiting professorship in Moscow. He opposes Germany defending Baltic states against Russia, and he believes USA would not honor Article 5 commitments in nuclear conflict. Perfect. Like, he gets both points, both like weaken NATO from within, and also weaken USA support for us, because we know USA is the strongest partner that NATO currently has, unfortunately. Just incredible. Fucking incredible.
If Russia did take some kind of hostile action towards the Baltic states, Germany is committed under Article 5 to step in. Do you think it should, or do you think that would be against Germany's interest?
I think it should not, but of course it's contracted. Yeah? From my understanding, the US government would only acting if the aggression is against the homeland of the US and not Europe.
So you don't believe in America's commitment to Article 5 in Europe?
Not in the case of a nuclear answer of any aggression from outside.
If Russia did take some kind of hostile action towards...
Just idiot. Holy shit. I don't know. That is so wild to me. How is he getting fucking votes? How is he getting votes? How is this not just very obvious betrayal of everything that Germany is supposed to stand for? How are people voting for this fucking clown? Is it the immigration issue? It's absolutely the fucking immigration issue. Euronews had a thing on this too. Oh, Russia could attack NATO. Wow. Whoa. It already is attacking you, blind little loser. But there were statistics published about the number of repatriations from European states recently, and the number is quite high. But I'm kind of hoping that with the system being more efficient, I'm hoping that we create a situation where the far right loses their position as like the sole fighters against the, you know, large number of immigrants incoming. Because I feel it's how they're gathering most of the votes and how they're able to be like openly betraying their own country and still getting votes. It's because of the immigration crisis, isn't it? I genuinely don't know what else it would be.
Harm's way. It repeatedly asked them to temporarily leave the combat zone.
They're talking about the attacks in the UN.
Stefan Dujarric, spokesperson for the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, emphasized that the attacks on its peacekeepers may constitute war crimes.
You're signing up? Oh, my man, Croatian military, yesterday I think, they published that we're having more volunteers this year. I didn't even know you can like, you can just be like, yeah, I want to get military training, and you get fucking military training. That's that, you just fucking apply, and they have women joining too. They published specifically because they were like, oh yeah, we got women volunteering, and there's just like a bunch of new people who want to get military training. They want to be a part of the military forces of Croatia. Nice, because we wanted to introduce the, I guess why it's happening is because we wanted to introduce the what's the word? Compulsory military training. Like the idea was, it starts at the age of 18, so all 18-year-olds have to go, and then everyone older can go, but they don't have to, but they can, right? And then it turned out that this is really, really hard to organize. So they're not going to be introducing it starting next year as they planned, but it feels like a lot of people were prepared to join willingly, and now when they learn that it's not going to happen, they were like, yeah, I'm just like gonna join anyways. I want to get the training anyways. I want to see what I'm good at. So yeah, they're joining up. Because I know my brother wanted to go, but it was like a test to see, he had to go to a test to see who like actually gets accepted into proper military forces. So it wasn't like a short military training that you do, it was like a career option. And there was stuff, like you actually had to be getting ripped. There was a physical test and it was really, really tough. It's not like the physical test for policemen. It's a proper physical test. And he always mentions how there was like a bunch of dudes there who didn't pass. He also didn't pass. It was really hard. And there was a girl who didn't pass last year, and then she trained for a full fucking year, and she actually managed to get in. She managed to be stronger than all of these fucking men, and she got into the proper forces. So yeah. What are these peacekeepers doing during a whole year of Hezbollah launching rockets at Israel? Yeah, the same thing they were doing in Srebrenica, I guess. I know Milanovic condemned Israeli attacks against the UN troops. I know Plenković, currently our prime minister, is silent on this. Personally, I said, because you don't want to be, you know, you don't want to go against what the Western side is here, and at the same time, it's the fucking UN, and we don't really have good feelings towards the UN here, because they allowed everything that happened in Yugoslavia during the war. They literally did nothing. They did absolutely nothing. So I understand why he's staying quiet, and I also expected Milanovic to speak out immediately, because, you know, he's on the Russian side here. But it's wild. Well, there has Hezbollah outpost 100 meters next to a UN base. That too, they fucking knew. They had to fucking know. They knew in Srebrenica, so I want to know, whenever I think about them in other countries, I'm always like, yeah, the same fuck-ups they did here. And I'm not even sure if it was fuck-ups or if it was them genuinely willing to turn a blind eye to keep some illusion of like controlled warfare. You know what I mean? Because in Srebrenica, what they did was they knew that the Serbs are going to slaughter everyone. They knew. And what the UN peacekeeper troops did is they ran away. They attempted to flee so they wouldn't have to write reports on it. That's what the fuckers did. They were like, oh, if we don't see it, then it's not happening. And if it's not happening, then it doesn't count as escalation. And if it doesn't count, then, you know, there's not going to be more military support for Bosnia. And Belgrade isn't going to get bombed. So we're just like, no, we don't want Serbia to suffer the consequences. We're seeing nothing. It literally what they did in Srebrenica. So I'm guessing they're doing the same thing everywhere they are because they are fucktards and they're trying to protect the aggressors from consequences of their actions. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing in Ukraine too. They are fully committed to keeping Russia from suffering any sort of direct consequence, so they're willing to watch Ukrainians be killed, because to them that is less of a problem than Russia suffering anything. So, yeah, personally, I don't give a shit about attacks on them. UN troops did nothing in everything they were involved in, absolutely. In Rwanda, where they could cut down thousands of dark peasants with machine guns to stop genocide. Holy shit, I know nothing, close to nothing about the situation in Rwanda. So I will not be taking the liberty to comment on that, but I do know quite a lot about the situation in Srebrenica. And I know that they were pieces of shit when it comes to that. And then they acknowledged later that they were pieces of shit. And then they continued being pieces of shit in other conflicts. They wrote a whole report which was like, yeah, we were scum. We were scum when it came to Bosnia. And we knew what Serbs were going to do. And we did absolutely nothing. And we hope not to repeat the same mistake again. And then they repeated the same mistake again.
This would speed up deportations
and they can't engage unless directly fired upon. I'm not even sure if they can engage when directly fired upon, because there are people having getting killed in Ukraine and they did nothing. And I'm not sure if they can engage at all. I'm not sure if they want to fucking engage. I'm not sure if they have any sort of a will to do shit. I don't know.
It's a total of 16 men. Some of them are from Bangladesh, the
Ground invasion.
from Egypt, and they are expected to arrive.
It's not achieving anything. It's pure populism. Won't change anything. Okay, yeah, that's true. That too. They've observers, not white colonists. I feel that regardless, it's like. What's your point there? What's the point there? What is it? What are you doing? It's like, you know how like when photographers go around filming atrocities, and then people are like, why didn't you do something? Like, oh, you saw a bunch of children starving, why didn't you do something? And the photographer is like, oh no, I needed to bring awareness of this. It feels to me like you and people are kind of coming from the same idea of like, I need to bring awareness of this. But like when you are a representative of the UN, that actually is an organization that could do something, and you're choosing to minimize the atrocities, I don't know. It's like, why are you choosing to be passive in that situation? What gain is there from being passive in it? I don't fucking see it. I don't know. Even if they're unarmed, though, they can still call attention to atrocities happening, and they can demand that something be done against the aggressor, and they're just not. They're never doing it. It's like the fucking Red Cross. I'll never forget the Red Cross. When their people got killed in Ukraine, and they refused to name Russia as the side that killed them. They were like, yeah, oh no, our people got killed. Oh, very sad thing.
Poland is accelerating
What are
efforts
you
to
doing?
strengthen the
The
defense of
fuck
its
are you
borders
doing?
with Russia and Belarus.
How is this helping
Prime
anyone?
Minister Donald Tusk
Mystica.
announced on Monday
I
that
just died.
construction of the so-called East Shield project will begin earlier than planned, by the end of this
Yeah.
year instead of next.
No, but that
This
too.
project
Was
will
it the
increase military
BBC?
fortifications and other defense measures
It
on
was the
Poland's
BBC, I
eastern
think, that
border
posted
over a
about the
length of
death of that
approximately 800 kilometers.
Victorian,
Construction is
Ukrainian
expected
journalist,
to last
Victoria.
4 years.
They posted about her death,
Tusk was
and they were
present
like,
at a
"Oh,
training ground on
Ukrainian
Monday
journalist
where the first
dies in
exercises
prison in
took place,
Russia."
testing elements of the project's new infrastructure, and emphasized that it is part of a combined effort with the Baltic
You
states
got a heart
and
attack or
Finland.
something, huh? just died. Just happens to people, I guess. Healthy young people, they just die sometimes, don't they? It's just a normal thing, I guess.
Ponieważ ono jest połączone także z wysiłkiem państw bałtyckich, jeśli chodzi o bałtycką linię obrony, Finlandia.
Oh yeah,
Tusk also
Finland.
said that he is to discuss European funding
EU
for the
funding for
project
the
in
initiative.
Brussels in the
Oh,
near future.
Tusk?
The European Union is to
pollution,
toughen
I
its
guess.
air.
What are you doing? So-called EU Shield project will begin construction by the end of this year. Construction of military fortifications and other defense measures, physical barriers, state-of-the-art airspace monitoring. State-of-the-art airspace monitoring systems. Oh, this is going to be great for Poland, so you don't once again watch Russian fucking drones in your airspace for 30 minutes and do nothing. That's going to be fucking lovely. I can't wait for that to be implemented. 30 fucking minutes. Did you know that? When they had a Russian drone like going through Poland and then going back, 30 minutes observed by 3 different stations. And they were just like, yeah, okay. Half a fucking hour. You know how long half a fucking hour is? I was just flying there. He's just flying there and they were like, yeah, okay. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. We're not gonna shoot it down. No. We don't want to risk a war with Russia. You can come like 3 times. Yeah, true. If you're an expert, maybe even more, depending on how long it takes for you to recharge. But no, it was not long enough for us to figure out if this was a civilian plane or a drone. How is half an hour not enough for you to figure out if this is a civilian plane or a fucking drone? Half an hour. Half a fucking hour. You end the stream right now, see you at 7 p.m. No, I'm working at 7 p.m. I have to be at my job doing my inventura because the day is Inventura Day. Surprise Inventura Day, actually. Hey, talking about your work. Look, I told my uncle that you have the best repair shop in the entirety of Osijek. And I have to know, like, do you got some big ass tricycles there? Do you got big ass tricycles? And if not, do you have electric bikes? Because we need both. And I was like, you shouldn't be buying them from Trgovački centri. And he was like, shit. Well then, ask your friend if he has any of that, because I could be going to buy them there. And I was like, yeah, sure. No, big ass tricycle for like men. My uncle's a big man, and he has a tricycle right now. It's a proper one, like proper tires and everything, but it's gonna it breaks quite often. But he drives it to work and then back. Yes, the electric bikes, nice. Shit, nice. Okay, that's amazing. Are they? I had a family friend, but like she had an electric bike 20 years ago. And I never had one, but hers was like a shitty one and it could last for around 3 kilometers. But it was 20 years ago, so I understand like the standards are changed now. He needs one that can drive, I think it's like 5 to 10 kilometers would be great, because it takes him Oh, 100. Oh, shit. All right. Lots of things have changed in 20 years. Then that's great. He has like 5 kilometers cycling to his work and then 5 kilometers back. So if he could like, survive there and back, that would be amazing. 100, holy shit. 40, 50 with the smallest batteries, that's fucking great. I'll have to let him know. Thank you. Yeah, 20 years ago is a long time. Because the family friend in question, she lived... Now the best thing is, she like worked at a supermarket here. But she lived around, I want to say like 8 kilometers from the supermarket. Like genuinely far away, right? And the bicycle in question could only last for about 3 kilometers. So she was like driving one part of the path and then, actually letting it run by itself or the other part of the path, depending on like where there were like tougher parts and what. So she would charge it at home, come to the workplace, charge it at the workplace, come to home, charge it home. And it was like a full day, thing. And we really wanted something with not like that. But yeah, that's fucking great. That's fucking great. 20 years ago was a while ago. I always forget that 20 years ago is like 2000s. Like I met a kid recently, born in 2002. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I was born in 2002. I was no. Because I asked him, he wanted to buy cigarettes. And I was like, are you 18? And he's like, yeah, I was born in 2002. And in my head, it was like, you're not. What are you doing here? Fuck off. And then I'm like, wait, he wouldn't tell me his year of birth if it wasn't like more than 18 years ago, right? He would just lie. He wouldn't honestly tell me and then still expect cigarettes. And then I was like, oh, what year is it today? Hey, good luck at work, DB. Good luck, good luck, good luck. There was something wrong with that bike. Even old stuff with lead acid battery should be able to do over 20. Or maybe she just had a shit one then. I have no idea. I want to know what the problem was. She just always talks about how she hated that bike. Where was I on this? I don't believe they didn't. It was probably pressure to not escalate. It's always pressure to not escalate. Do North Koreans make better food? I'm hoping some of them are going to run away. I'm hoping some of them are going to run away. But listen, all of the jokey jokes, it's not actually 2001. I think it's not 2001. I think no, you mean 9/11? I was talking about the bike 20 years ago. I think it was more than 20 years ago. Because I think when I say 20 years ago, I'm thinking 1990s. Somewhere like 30 years ago bike. A 30 years ago bike, I guess. But yeah, 9/11, I think 2001 or something. Because I know people always talk about it. Like, what did you do on 9/11? And I genuinely... I don't even remember if we talked about it a lot here in Croatia. Yeah, 2001. I don't remember if we talked about it a lot. I don't even remember if it was like a point of conversation that much. I do remember seeing some of it in the news, but genuinely not much. Like, genuinely not a lot. But then also I was in like elementary school at the time, so I don't know. Maybe just passed on me. Maybe my parents didn't really care, so I kinda missed out on the conversation. Teenagers on electric scooters are the most dangerous thing in Sarajevo. We had a situation in, I think it was Zagreb, where a kid on an electric scooter killed a tourist. Though, to be fair, the tourist in question, she was a dumbass. She just like jumped out into the road in front of this dude driving a scooter. So, it's not like it was solely his fault, but he had to be speeding. You don't fucking kill a person with a thing like that if you're driving it properly slowly. But yeah, genuinely very, very, very dangerous on the roads. And there's currently conversations about demanding kids to do a driving license test for them. Like they're talking about implementing them for bikes too, because a lot of people are just driving them around absolutely wild. But what I wanted to point out is the North Korean soldiers in Russia, because while it's a haha funny thing, and it is a haha funny thing, at the same time, it's enabling Russia to, you know, kind of have a little break almost, I want to say, in sending Russians to be on the front line, which for them is going to only be beneficial because they can either like take more time to draft more people so it's not as sudden, or they can train them more. And I don't really think they're gonna be training them that well regardless, but it's enabling them to have a break. It's enabling them to have more people digging the trenches and everything and throwing themselves in the way. So still a problem. Like, it is funny, and the memes about them, you know, running away and surrendering to Ukraine, yeah, haha, funny, but they're still going to be an asset for Russia. It's quite concerning this is going on. The kids, I see them are literally weaving in zigzags on the sidewalk. Oh, I see them in the distance, and I get away. I try to get away from them as much as possible. So I've never really paid too much attention. We're just going to accept that North Korean troops are invading Europe? I guess I guess that's exactly what's going on. USA said they are concerned. America said they are concerned and that they're going to be imposing sanctions. How was the specific wording? That it concerns them because it shows a deepening relationship between Russia and North Korea. What is that? What is that? You have North Korean troops invading us and you're like, yeah, I'm deeply concerned because these two seem to be rather close. So someone quickly driving, wheel got in a little deep thing and he flew with his heading ground. Oh shit, I remember when I was a kid and it was the time of those edgy not safe for life videos. I saw a similar video like that, but the person didn't survive. So ever since then, I've been a helmet advocate. Like, wear your fucking helmets. You're driving a bicycle, wear your fucking helmets. You're driving one of the electric shits, just wear your helmets. Get a helmet, carry it in your bag around, and if you're gonna get that shit, I don't know, here you can like rent them in the city. Just get your helmet out. Wear the fucking helmet. They need to be supplied with the thing, and then there needs to be laws against not wearing the fucking helmet. Because, oh man, can you get fucked. Apes together strong, Russia and North Korea. Man, we're still not allowed to show deep into Russia. Yeah, still, right now. New level of desperation. Also not happy about this. Not happy about the way it's being reported as like, oh, look at Russia being desperate. Because I think they're genuinely dangerous. Like, I understand it's funny, but they're genuinely fucking dangerous. They're going to be a huge asset for Russia. Anything is an asset for Russia, but getting more men to like go there to dig your trenches, to be killed on the battlefield, it definitely is beneficial for them so they can gather more of their own troops. I've seen reports of like 10,000 North Koreans joining in. Man, that's a big ass problem. Why are the Americans fighting for Ukraine, but the US doesn't protect them like they protect the other troops? Wait, what do you mean USA doesn't protect them like they protect the other troops? What does that mean? What does that even mean? You think American volunteers or what? How does the US not protect them like they protect the other troops? Which troops is USA even protecting that well in Ukraine? You think what, the aid is going to everyone else but the American volunteers? How does that make sense to say? What's the difference in USA policy towards their own volunteers and the rest of the troops? Because I'm pretty sure the International Legion is not somehow inherently, uniquely discriminated against by the USA. Trump holds slight lead over Harris in battleground states in early voting. Total of 48% of voters who said they would vote early in the so-called swing states supported Trump, 47% sided with Harris. 5% said they went with another choice or had not yet voted. I feel everyone going with another choice is also mentally retarded. So yeah. Why USA won't intervene when US mercs get killed as if they were an actual USA army? Yeah, but like, isn't it also true for any other country really existing? You don't start a full war if your own people are killed in distant lands. Like, I talked to someone about this a few days ago, and he was like, why did Turkey shoot down that Russian plane? You remember Turkey shooting down the Russian plane that got close to the Turkish border, right? Why did Turkey shoot down the Russian plane that got close to the Turkish border, but it didn't start a war with Russia when a bunch of Turkish soldiers were killed in Syria by Russian troops? But like, it's not the same situation at all. And the same thing happened, if you remember, when France was talking about this, there was a conversation about sending French soldiers to Ukraine, and Macron was like, no, it doesn't mean that this is like a complete full war between France and Russia, right? Like, we could just send our soldiers there for a military mission and they could participate in fighting. It doesn't mean that we have to send everything we have. And he used the example of French troops being sent over to Africa, like, and even if they got killed fighting there, it didn't mean that France was full in going balls deep into a war. So it's the same with USA, you know, it's not like USA volunteers getting killed in another country, and especially because they're not even sent by USA, they're volunteers. It's not like this in some way would start a full-out war. If you sign up as a merc, you have no right for state protection abroad. Yeah, shit, that too. They allowed Americans to volunteer to fight at a place where they're not protected by the US military. They're just odd and immoral if you think about it. So would you propose they jail them for fighting? Would you propose they get chunked into prison? What is allowing them to fight there? If you want to go fight abroad privately, you don't get protection. I see that. Wasn't near Turkish border, was mid-Turkey. Wasn't it true that like there was only for a very short time it crossed over the border to Turkish airspace? That's the way I remember it. It was like a very short time that it crossed over the border. Yeah, this one post, this is the one I mentioned. Yeah. The trend is negative unless drastic measures are taken. And then if you go into the responses, let me see if we have them still. You're too pessimistic. No, they actually fixed it. I saw this one when I was around. No, they're mostly angry right now. Okay, it got fixed a little bit. Because when I was around, there were a few responses that were with the energy of like, okay, but like even if this is true, and even if Ukraine does lose, like that doesn't mean drastic changes have to happen in the way that the West behaves towards Russia, because it doesn't mean necessarily that we will have to have Russia at our doorstep, basically. I'm greeted with love. Shit. Wait, now I gotta check it. Turkey. Shoot down a Russian plane. Yeah, it says the aircraft violated Turkish airspace up to a depth of 2.19 kilometers for about 17 seconds. They were given 10 warnings within the span of 5 minutes to change the course. Turkey released the audio recording of these warnings, and the Russians still claim that there were no warnings given. Yeah, one aircraft left Turkish national airspace after violating it. The other aircraft was fired upon by Turkish F-16s patrolling the area, and it crashed into Syrian territory after being hit in Turkish airspace. Based on its heat signature, an anonymous American official stated that the jet was hit in Syrian airspace after a short incursion into Turkey. So there's a possibility that it went in and then went out immediately and was shot anyways, which I would support it anyways. I would support it regardless. Let me lower the light here, it's not me how bright this is. I would support it regardless. I feel like if it goes into your airspace for like 5 seconds, you warn it, it doesn't go out, you shoot it down. You shoot it down. Why would you just allow it? Why would you do the Polish thing of watching it for 30 minutes? What sort of cuckery is that? What sort of fucking cuckery is that? 30 minutes it's been flying around and they were like, yeah, you know what? We don't know if we're allowed to shoot this thing down. We're just not sure. We just don't know. And then the thing I'm most salty about, and I don't know who in Turkish, like I imagine there's a politician or an influencer or something spreading lies about this bullshit. Because whenever I talk to Poles about this, they were like, oh, we're not actually allowed to shoot it down. NATO says we're not allowed to shoot it down. Which is just not true. And then it's like the Polish law doesn't allow us to shoot it down. And one of them even sent me a source of the idea that the Polish law doesn't allow them to shoot it down, and it wasn't a source on that. It was some military analyst talking about why it wasn't shot down, but he doesn't say why it wasn't shot down. He's just like, oh yeah, well, we have to confirm when something like that flies into our airspace, we have to confirm it's not a civil plane that got lost, and that it's actually a drone. Like 30 minutes, observed by 3 different stations. You couldn't fucking know? Come on. So I don't know. Not just Turkey. Not only does Turkey protect its borders better than Poland, Belarus fucking does. Fucking Belarus shot down more Russian drones than Poland did. Fucking salty about that. It shows how little they care about their own people. They basically just use them in a way. They're playing an odd middle ground with volunteers that I don't think has ever been seen anywhere by the US. But I'm pretty sure that if you volunteer to go fight for foreign military forces, you're not going to be getting any sort of special protection from your state regardless. Like, I'm not sure that would be a thing with any other country. Turkey protects its virginity like a nun. Poland does it like a Russian 7th grade. Oh shit. NATO policy is visual confirmation with fighter jet, but I agree 30 minutes is fucking dog shit. Yeah, no, like 30 minutes. And especially like knowing there's a war ongoing, knowing that Russia is attacking Ukraine, knowing you have a border with Ukraine, and to not have F-16s ready. I don't know. Like, I understand the arguments for lacking equipment. And I did see some polls mention that. And I understand with arguments for lacking equipment, you know, like, oh, we didn't have F-16s ready the stations just weren't prepared to figure out what the thing in the sky was. They didn't expect it to be there, you know, shit like that. I understand those types of explanations that are like, this was a failure. This was a failure and we should learn better. We failed this time. Hopefully we don't fail better. I understand. But excuses like, oh, NATO doesn't allow us to shoot down stuff in our territory because it's going to start a war. Bullshit. Bullshit. Just, no, you can't blame NATO for this. You can't even blame the Polish law for this. But you weren't prepared. That's it. Nah. Oh, I got the ad block. Wow. Here we go. Germany halts heavy weapon deliveries to Ukraine. But that's not the full story. What? Does it hold something else? It likely applies only to Bundeswehr stockpiles. Is that a lot? People on the ground in majority support shooting down on site. There was like 67 supporting some serving. That's nice. That's nice. I feel a positive trend. German Ministry of Defense reportedly doubts Ukraine will launch a significant offensive to reclaim its territory soon. I feel that's a retarded excuse. After delivering 18 Leopard 2 tanks, no additional tanks or heavy equipment are planned, despite the Bundeswehr having around 300 Leopard tanks available. But this likely only applies to their stockpiles. Future deliveries will come through contracts with Germany's defense industry, which has committed to supplying new heavy armor and artillery to Ukraine through 2028. Lovely! Can you imagine if Iran was doing this shit to Russia? If Iran was like, hey Russia, you get a new batch of drones. 2028. Imagine how stupid that would be. Know how much we would be mocking them if North Korea was like, yeah, Russia, you're going to get 10,000 of our soldiers. 2028. Because you know, whenever they do this thing, it's always like they get it at the last date. They get it in the last month of this. Oh, we're going to be supplying you from today until this date. And it's like you get 5 of promised tanks in the last week, and then that's that. You get nothing of the rest. Bullshit. Why am I getting asses here? Push up. Push up. Pants push up. Zelensky made 2 key requests to Olaf Scholz. Approval to use Western-supplied weapons against strategic targets in Russia. Accelerated NATO membership process with security guarantees against Russia. These requests were met with little enthusiasm in Berlin. Great. When can we hope that Scholz is gone? Can Germany get rid of him? Is he just gonna stay there forever? Is this like we were stuck with Merkel and now we're stuck with Scholz and that's that? They're not getting occupied areas back? Man, I don't know. Part of me is still hoping that Eastern Europe does something. Not even the entirety of it, because I don't think the entirety of it is gonna do some shit. But I'm kind of hoping that with losing the grip, hopefully losing the grip in Moldova and in Georgia, something can happen. Or, alternatively, and this is like a bad thing to hope for, I understand. But I'm hoping that one of the coalition's attempts to fuck us in the ass actually work. Like, you know how we've been getting reports of Russia attempting to poison European water supply, for example, or attempting to send an explosive device to Germany, planning assassinations of our people, planning alcohol terrorist attacks against certain events. I'm feeling if they succeed in one of them, or eventually if the coalition itself succeeds in doing something, like with China's recent military exercises against Taiwan, if they actually do something, I'm hoping that we'll get kind of a strong awakening in Europe, even though that feels very much like copium. But I genuinely feel like that's the only two possibilities. It's either Russia itself crumbling from within, or it's Russia getting stronger against our countries to the point where we can't ignore them anymore. But if the situation stays the way it is today, yeah, we're kind of not really doing well. We won't be getting out of this, all right? You're cold? Is it COVID? COVID is spreading recently. COVID is spreading. COVID is going around. So I hope it's not that.
Defenders, today we get to talk about North Korea. Putin submits treaty on strategic partnership with North Korea to the Russian parliament. These two are getting closer.
Also, I do wonder what happens with South Korea. I do wonder how they're going to be responding to this. I think so far we have seen no comments. But I do guess they are very concerned by North Korea building an alliance with Russia. So I'm kind of hoping something happens. Without doubling aid to Ukraine, you won't get any results. I'm kind of hoping that with Russia directly attacking our countries, we get actual NATO intervention rather than pussy aid given. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that if the Russian terrorist attacks against the countries continue, and if China continues their shit, I'm hoping we reach a situation where we are aware that we must be responding. Which is a very copium thing. But I don't know, I kind of see it. I genuinely feel these are the only two possible options. I'm not really seeing a reality where our aid changes so drastically without an impetus. A lot more congestion than I ever had with COVID. Could be a sinus infection. Oh shit! That's fucked, but it's not COVID, so I guess. Some positivity. My father had COVID, I think 2 years ago, and we only learned about it recently. We didn't know he had COVID. He didn't know he had COVID. He thought it was a cold. And then at the time when he had it, he was dizzy all the time. He would get up and his vision would just blur. And he didn't know why it was happening. And later he went to the doctors, and the doctor was like, "Did you ever have COVID? Were you a bit sick when this was ongoing?" Because he had it for a week, didn't go to the doctors, and then he went to the doctors later to be like, "I want to know what's going on." And they did a test, and it turns out he didn't have COVID at the time he did the test, but he did have it previously, and he just didn't want to tell us because he was like, "I don't want you guys to be worried about me." So yeah, now we learned it. Now we learned that's also one of the symptoms. All the blood went down. Nah. I mean, look, if that's a symptom, I don't know about it, and I don't want to know about it. But I know the man was dizzy as fuck. So yeah.
Among the tenets of the treaty is a stipulation that either country must provide military assistance to the other in the case of an attack.
To be fair, didn't Russia have a similar deal with Armenia and told Armenia to get fucked? It makes kind of sense that only North Korea would be stupid enough to sign a deal like that with Russia again, but...
The treaty was first signed by Putin and North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un back in June of 2024. The Defense Pact officially enters into effect when both nations ratify the agreement. So on paper, this looks attractive to Putin and the Russians, because technically, North Korea has the largest military in the world by personnel. When you factor in active duty military, reserve, and paramilitary, they have 7.5 million soldiers in their military to some degree. Now, this might be confusing. How is this possible? The population of North Korea is only 26 million. 26 million, half are women. Yes, some North Korean women do serve in the military, but it's not compulsory. So let's just say 13 million guys living in North Korea, and 7.5 million of them are still under contract to some degree with their government to be serving in some capacity with the military. 7.5 million out of basically a pool of 13 million. So the very old and the children are pretty much the only guys being excluded from military service in the Kim regime. North Korea is an open-air prison. None of these 26 million people are allowed to leave. Nobody's allowed to come in. North Korea is the only country in the world that doesn't have internet access.
Why, I tried Googling this on my phone, and then I was like, why would I just not look it up here? Fuck off. North Korea says young people are volunteering for military service to annihilate South Korea. Great. Trump's potential return risks South Korea's national security and economy. Iran and North Korea hold talks on Korean Peninsula development. Great. What? Two sides emphasize condemning the criminal actions of the Zionist regime. Oh! Early on Tuesday, North Korea blew up certain sections of two inter-Korean highways on its side of the border. The South Korean military has stepped up surveillance and readiness, the ministry said. North Korean Foreign Ministry said on Friday that South Korea had flown drones over Pyongyang 3 times since last week, on October 3rd, 9th and 10th, to distribute leaflets calling the move a military provocation and a violation of its sovereignty. South Korean military has denied reports of sending drones to North Korea, saying nothing of the sort happened. Earlier, it was reported that the General Staff of North Korean Army said that North Korea would carry out work to block and cut off all roads and railways connecting its territory with the main enemy, South Korea, and would fortify defensive structures, which it notified the American troops about in order to avoid clashes. What? Yeah. It'll help them when the next famine starts. Shit, and they beg for foreign aid. Maybe they get it from Iran. Maybe they get it from Iran, you never know. Maybe like Hamas goes there and sends them something. North Korea says 1.4 million youth enlist in army over South Korean drone outrage. Oh, so that's what it is. So they're claiming South Korea violated their airspace by sending in drones. South Korea is like, no, we never did such a thing. But North Korea is like, yeah, they did. Come join the military so you can defend your country, and people are actually joining the military to defend their country. Oh, what the hell! But look at this, a new multinational body was launched to monitor North Korea sanctions after UN panel dismantled. Man. Dismantlement of the UN panel of experts on North Korea in April due to Russia's veto. Oh, my dude! My dude, multilateral sanctions monitoring team includes South Korea, United States, Japan, Britain, France, Australia, New Zealand, Italy, Netherlands, Canada, and Germany will assume the previous panel's role. Great! Great. We are aligned in our commitment to uphold international peace and security and to safeguard the global non-proliferation regime and address the threat arising from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea weapons of mass destruction in violation of UN Security Council resolutions. The goal of the new mechanism is to assist the full implementation of UN sanctions by publishing information based on rigorous inquiry into sanctions violations and evasion attempts. Unlike the previous UN panel, composed of independent experts appointed by the UN Secretary General, this operates as a coalition of countries that have voluntarily decided to work together. It's expected to publish reports more frequently than the former panel, which issued reports only twice a year. Additionally, it plans to release detailed briefs on specific issues or areas of concern, according to the ministry. Initially, South Korea, United States, and Japan considered establishing the new monitoring team under the UN General Assembly, which would have conferred greater authority. However, concerns over the lengthy process of setting up such a mechanism, amid North Korea's continued nuclear and missile provocations, illegal arms deals with Russia, illegal ship-to-ship maritime transfers, and cyber activities, and the potential requirement for annual resolutions to extend its mandate, led to the decision to create an external body for the sake of efficiency. This is actually interesting, because they had the option of going under the UN, and they were like, nah, fuck the UN, it's going to slow us down. We're going to create a monitoring body independent of the UN itself. We're not going to be creating a body under the UN General Assembly. I feel that's I feel that's an interesting move to make. It became clear there was no time to delay in filling the monitoring gap. South Korea and other key countries agreed on the need to swiftly establish an alternative mechanism outside the UN. I feel that's good. We have been considering systems within the UN framework and will continue to do so moving forward. We are ensuring that the mechanism is open to the participation of other willing states, which will allow us to collect more intelligence and information from many countries. I believe this will create a monitoring system that may be even more effective than the previous one. Okay. This coalition of nations, united by a common purpose, has the potential to surpass the previous panel's work, which was sometimes hindered by historical challenges, particularly from Russia. In March, Russia used its veto power in the UN Security Council to block the renewal of the UN panel of experts mandate, effectively ending the mechanism that had monitored North Korea's sanctions violations for 15 years. At the time, South Korean ambassador to the UN criticized the veto, comparing it to destroying CCTV cameras during the commission of a crime. Well, that makes sense. I'm liking the fact that they are going outside of the UN, to be honest. It's kind of making me feel like this is one of the rare times where you see a step in the proper direction. Because fuck the UN, right? Yeah, North Korea said its young people are volunteering to serve in the military out of animosity towards South Korea after its alleged drone incursion on Pyongyang. Millions of young people joined the fight to annihilate South Korea, accusing Seoul of creating tensions as a prelude to war. Seoul is creating tensions? You're cooperating with fucking Iran, with fucking Russia, doing nuclear weapon testing regularly, threatening everyone around, and Seoul is the one creating tensions? Bullshit. At some point, some 1.4 million youths nationwide had signed up to enter the military Monday and Tuesday. What the hell? North's foreign ministry says Seoul flew drones over its capital city on October 3rd, 9th and 10th to disseminate anti-regime propaganda leaflets, a claim the South Korean military has refused to verify. I mean, surely they would have, like, evidence of that? Surely there would be some videos? Surely they could publish the leaflet or something?
It's the most undeveloped and backwater part of the entire world. The lights up here, this is China. The lights down here is South Korea. This is Jeju Island. This is Japan. And even up here, this is Vladivostok, Russia. North Korea doesn't have power, except for, the city of Pyongyang and the inner circle living right here. Kim Jong-un does this on purpose to his entire people, to control every asset, every facet of their daily lives, keeping all the men forced into the military to some degree.
Oh, there's a
so
possibility
they can't rise up against him and kill him.
That
this is who the Russians
the
are so
drones
desperate
were not actually sent by like South Korea as the military or whatever, but it was the activists.
In the war in Ukraine this fall. This is according to President Zelensky. This was part of his daily address the other day.
Because I don't really feel
Here's what he says.
Military would be stupid enough to just like send you to the drones with leaflets over. What are you going to do with leaflets? You think they don't know what they're doing? Why would you send them leaflets? And even if it's activists, I feel they're retarded activists.
Everything is quite detailed.
Do you think they don't know what they're doing?
The inclusion
you're
of
sending
North
them
Korea
leaflets.
in
Hey,
the
you're
war.
committing a
That
crime.
is what is occurring.
No way, really.
Partisans report North Korean troops are training near Mariupol. A Ukrainian partisan group said on Sunday it had spotted North Korean personnel in military training areas in occupied Donetsk. This is happening. So this is where we are. Ukraine is not just fighting.
They're very dangerous. What they're going to do is they're going to be basically... Look, Russia is doing zerg rushing. So what Russia does is it has a bunch of useless soldiers with lacking equipment, lacking training, lacking worth in the universe. And what it does is it just sends them to go and die on the front line. That's how it gets territory. Like, you send a huge group of people to try and capture a position. If you've seen the videos of what's happening with Russian soldiers recently, like, you've seen this shit. They send a batch of them, and most of them get killed. Most of them just immediately get killed. They get shot down, they get killed by drones, several of them commit suicide, that's that, like a huge group killed. But what happens is they send another group, and they send another group, and they send another fucking group, and they keep on sending these groups of worthless men to die on the front line. And at some point, especially because Ukraine is not getting the supplies it should be getting, at some point, few of these are going to actually survive. And they're going to actually, like, take a few meters. And then what happens is when new groups come in, they take couple meters more, and then a couple meters more, and you see huge groups of Russians dying just to get like one street in some dire-ass village or whatever, but it's still seen as a gain. And because these men are worthless to them, they are able to do this for as long as they want. And now with some reports saying that 10,000 North Koreans are coming in, that's quite a lot of meters to be taking. That is quite a fucking lot. And then also, in midst of that, when you see people like Scholz saying, oh, well, Ukraine is losing these meters, so that means that maybe we just like shouldn't send them more heavy equipment because they're not able to defend anyways. So we should lower the amount of aid that we are giving to them because, you know, obviously it's not going that well. You see Ukraine losing even more. Like, it's genuinely a dangerous situation. One side is only Ukraine and some support outside. Other side is superpower. Yeah, Russia and fucking Korea. To be fair, I feel like China is also a big player in that. I feel we shouldn't minimize the Chinese influence in it, and also Iran, definitely. But yeah, absolutely. Like, the world war is already ongoing. Russia is already attacking European countries. Not just European countries, USA itself. It's already a world war. We're just blind to it. South Korea should spread some democracy. I do wonder what they're going to do about it. I do wonder, because the tensions are really, really high, and they have been really, really high for a rather long time. I do wonder what's going to happen about that. Because I'm really concerned about the fact that North Korea does have a rather strong military base. South Korea does have it too, like they do have mandatory military service and everything. But North Korea is the one who doesn't really care about the lives of their people. So they're able to, just easily chunk more of them into death. And with South Korea not knowing it can rely on their allies, this could be a very dangerous situation. They don't know they're going to get support. Like if North Korea actually does try some shit and does try to fire some missiles into them, they don't know if they're going to get any sort of support from their allies. So I don't know, man. I'm very interested in how it's going to play out, and I think there's several ways it could go deeply, deeply wrong.
Fighting one nuclear-powered state, they're now fighting two. How many North Korean soldiers are going to be recruited by the Russians and sent to Ukraine? We don't know. It could be limited. It could just be 1 unit. Or Kim Jong-un could be bold, and he could send 500,000 soldiers to flood the war zone. We just don't know. Is this concerning? Of course. But I want to highlight the extremely low quality of the average North Korean soldier. And an incident that illustrates my point was from November of 2017. Soldier shot by North Korean guards as he defects to the south. Fleeing soldier is shot and injured by his own troops,
Oh yeah, China
but
is a
successfully
superpower when
escapes
it comes
across
to
the
electric cars
heavily
currently.
border between North Korea and South Korea.
Which I'm blaming on Elon Musk being retarded. Because he had the ability to have the strongest hand when it comes to electric cars imports worldwide, and he chose to kind of piss on all of that. It's his own fault. China is really, really powerful right now, and come on, like when you look at the competition in the field, it kind of makes sense that it is. Yeah, low quality doesn't matter. I don't know why he's talking about low quality. I didn't expect him to do it, because I did save a link to Dennis. To be fair, I thought the thumbnail was funny. But I did save the video to Dennis. And then I was like, no, we're not gonna watch Dennis. We're gonna watch Jake, because I feel Jake is more realistic in his commentary. But now he's talking about the low quality of North Korean soldiers, and I'm not really feeling that's realistic. Their low quality genuinely doesn't matter. The low quality of Russians doesn't matter. Like, they're useless drunkards sent into fields with no equipment, no ammo, and they still manage to take positions. Bullets are limited, but like the number of Russians being chunked at you, it's not really limited, is it? They have a couple of millions more they could be throwing. So I don't know. Didn't expect him really to do the copium. Didn't expect him to do that. Oh, what's that?
Election will be in 32 days. 32 days. The teleprompter crashed. 32 days. She kept going. I would have loved to. You know, it kicked back in. It's called a kickback. Like some people know a lot about a kickback. It's called a kickback. They know in this administration. But no, it's a kickback. It kicks back in. And it did 32 days, Mr. Khan.
Fair. Fair. Too many idiots, too few bullets. Unironically, though. Unironically, it doesn't matter how useless the idiots were. I'm so angry over that. Truly so angry over that. Tesla used to be like 80% of the EV market in the US. Now it's down to 43%. It's because Elon Musk is an idiot. He is an absolute idiot. I don't know, I can't wait for any sort of karma to hit and for him to lose everything he has. That piece of shit, he had such a potential. Not how much potential he had with the riches he had, with the ability to pick companies that he is going to be funding. That man could actually be doing something, and he chose instead to be a worthless sack of shit. I'm so angry about him, truly. So, how's life going? Jake is pure copium hopium. Isn't Dennis copium hopium? I always thought Jake was like more realistic. When Ukrainian soldiers say we will lose unless we get much more aid, they mean it. Yeah, I understand that. It's just, man, horrifying for me. Hey yo, Kanitsuki, how's life going? Also, hey yo, Olveg. Are you not signed up for community notes? I actually don't know. I think no. I think no. I'm not sure. I think I signed up when it was like a new thing in conversation, and I think nothing happened ever since. I'm annoyed by how strong the sun is here. She's going fire in Spain? What's Spain doing? Hey, my brother's there. My brother's in Spain right now. Be calm for like a week more. Chill down. Hey, I don't know what The Apprentice is about in the first place. I know it has something to do with Trump, because I've seen people talking about it. How they don't feel like watching it because they're already having to watch Trump regularly. Should have been able to see one on that tweet. But I usually see... Can I open Twitter? Eat it. I usually see community notes. I usually use Twitter on my phone. I don't even know if I like see them here. I think I should be. Yeah, like this. Like that, like that. 2013, there were not so many electric cars, which were trendy, and could go more than a bit. Now more companies do cars. Yeah, but like he had the first position. I feel like he could have done a lot more with it. He could have been a lot more innovative. Not him, because he's an imbecile. But he could have paid more experts to work for him, so his company can be stronger in the field. And what he chose to do instead is to eat shit. I'm fucking angry about it. Imagine having that potential. Imagine having that like push in a proper direction and then just choosing not to do anything about it. What a piece of crap. Showed up to the Twitter front door with a sink. Oh yeah, that was stupid. That was stupid. Nah, absolutely. Brave to scroll Twitter. Yeah, usually I wouldn't dare to. I just really wanted to find us. Russia don't bomb hospitals. Victory plan. Oh, he was supposed to... Who was he presenting it to today? I saw it in the news. I don't know which ones. Yeah, I know he was supposed to be representing it. I'm kinda... I mean, I like his victory plan. Oh, in the Rada? Nice. I'm kinda, though, angry about Europeans not taking him seriously. I'm so salty over that. I'm genuinely so salty over that. Because, like, man has a proper peace plan. And we already read about, like, Scholz not taking it seriously, really. And I feel a lot of other European leaders are also kinda... not understanding the importance of defeating Russia. I don't know. I'm snorting depression, pure depression right now. You know what I mean? I'm snorting doomerism. And I'm trying really not to. But man, we could be getting fucked. Israel suddenly noticed that Ukraine could have helped them a lot with drone protection. Oh, I feel Israel is going to be eating shit too. I don't trust Israel for 1 second. I don't trust Israel for 1 single second on this. I feel the second that they get a chance to go and run back into Putin's hands, they're going to do it. I feel Bibi is already like in a low start. He's like, oh, come on, Russia, come on, Russia. Give me a reason to come to your side. I'm not trusting that man at all. feel he's going to betray everything and everyone. And also I feel they didn't notice shit. Because you know when October 7th happened, and there was this one Israeli politician that was like, oh, Russia is supporting Hamas. Russia knew about this. Now Hamas are going to Moscow. Oh, fuck you, Russians. We're going to get our revenge. And then they proceeded to do absolutely fucking nothing. I'm feeling this is the same. Like some voices might be going in the other direction, but I'm feeling Israel overall is going to be eating shit on this issue. Government is into some insane corrupt stuff, but not only the president. It's also his entire family which took benefit of the president's position, and the president's party has many politicians which have been sent to prison. Sanchez released one of the terrorists from ETA who killed a politician back in the 90s. Holy shit! Wait, why is all of that coming out now? Did you have some like big investigation or what? What happened? Israel has been playing drones for 30 years, but it never occurred to Israelis that they will ever be attacked in the same way, so no protections were developed. Well, sucks to be them, I guess. Investigators were taking a nap for a few years. Because whenever like a big scandal like that is unveiled these days, I'm always like, is this a big scandal against a party that's actually supportive towards NATO and European Union? Is this what's going on? Is that what's happening? Like they collected all of the trash they can? Because, I don't know, that's how it feels for me. Yeah. Wait, we're gonna look at news now, Spain, to see what's going on. Early 2025! Thank you, Frenchies, for being better allies than Germans or the USA. Advanced air-to-ground missiles in January-March 2025. How many? Along with pilot training programs set to be implemented by the end of the year. Oh, Macron did not specify the number of combat aircraft that Paris plans to deliver to Kyiv. Well, asked for her number. She said she had a boyfriend. She asked for my Insta. I entered it on her phone but forgot to follow. Man, that sounds kind of clownish. Why would she have a boyfriend and then ask for your Insta? Yeah, she for the streets. Yeah, that's weird. I want to know. I would never. No, I'm a man. I would never do that. Holy shit, imagine that. Like if I get approached by a man outside, nah, I'm not even like giving them my fucking Insta. Ew, no. Or yeah, she's gonna do the same. Yeah, once a cheater, it's like always a cheater. You get branded and that's that. Don't do shit like that. Almost wish that the crazy orange clown will be elected and the same day we'll get crazy angry with Israel. Are you insane? No chance. Israel supports Trump. No chance that happens. No chance in the universe. He's gonna give them more aid to flatten everything to the ground. No fucking chance. Which, ironically, is the one way we could be seeing a glimpse of something positive happening if Trump becomes the president. Because Bibi, if he is not a worthless sack of shit, might actually go against Iran here. I do it, as a Russian proxy. We might be seeing something positive. But even then, Trump himself is a fucking Russian agent. So Bibi himself got into power by flaunting around how much he likes Putin. I'm very much doubting that. It's the only theory I've seen on that might turn out positively in any sort of a way for Europe. And even then, it's like everyone here is a fucking Russian asset. I very much doubt that this is going to play well for us. I don't even think they need to bribe him. Like, Trump is an idiot. I don't think they need to bribe him. I think he would be just fully ready to completely support Israel in flattening everything to the ground. Based threat? Look, I'm against cheaters. I'm just against cheaters. Because it feels like... And I understand if you're like teenagers in question. I don't know if you are teenagers. I don't know how old people in the conversation are. I understand teenagers doing cheating and shit like that. It's teenagers. Teenagers are fucking stupid, you know? But when it comes to people who are a bit older, it's a bit like, I don't know. It's like really fucking disrespectful to be asking for Instagram of other dudes while you have a boyfriend. I'm not really... Not supplying Israel with aid will be even worse. What do you think they will do when attacked from 5 fronts and not having a way to defend themselves? I do think it's going to be, well, basically the same what they're doing right now if Kamala wins. I don't think they're going to stop supplying Israel, but I do think they're going to maybe give it less of a free hand than what Trump is very likely going to do. Trump will let Bibi go against Iran oil. No, I don't think Trump's... How to say this? I think he's an idiot. In my mind, I'm gonna be honest with you. But now Trump's cabinet might be smarter than he is. But I'm pretty sure that Trump has no fucking idea where Israel is, where Palestine is, where Iran is. I'm like absolutely certain that Trump would be like, oh yeah, Israel is going to win this war, I'm going to be a hero and I'm going to stop this. And he's just going to give them everything that they want. I don't really think he has the brain to think about the consequences, you know what I mean? I don't think that man is smart. I don't think there's a shred of IQ within him. And then Israel and Iran, that might be really interesting to see how it plays out, because they are both connected to Russia. So I don't know if Bibi's loyalty to Russia overpowers his wish to defeat Iran. I don't know how that would go. I think she was asking for my Insta for cheating. I said I'd like to send her some techno tracks. Ah, that might make sense. Trump doesn't give a fuck about anything. Yeah, he has no ideology. I don't think he knows anything, really. I genuinely don't think he knows anything. Worst cunts on the planet are waiting to see if we re-elect our biggest cunt. Genuinely. No, genuinely, though. And the fact that it's like 50-50? It's 50-50? My man, I don't know. You think they're not neutral to Russia? Because I feel they kinda are. Oh no, I'm feeling they kinda are. I don't know how much I trust Israel in this, like at all. I feel the condemnation of Russia we've seen hasn't been enough to make me trust their judgment on this. Israelis used to be pragmatic. That's how they signed peace accords with Egypt and Jordan. Israelis right now are crazy religious zealots, and they only get worse. So if it's up to them, they will destroy all enemies rather than making any agreements. The thing is, though, when it comes to fighting terrorists, I can understand that you want to destroy them rather than making agreements. Like when it comes to fighting Hamas, when it comes to fighting Hezbollah, I understand, and I think I even would support the idea of completely destroying them before in any sort of a way attempting to negotiate with them. It's a terrorist group, it must be eradicated immediately. But then there is also a question of like how much are they actually fighting specifically and solely terrorist groups, and how much are they attempting to do ethnic cleansing. Israel only cares about Israel? They could care less about the rest of the world. But even in that situation, like if Israel only cares about Israel, would Israel rather stand on the side with Russia or leave the side of Russia? Because there's a trend in countries attempting to do horrible acts where they stay on the side of Russia because they know Russia will not condemn them the same way that the West will, right? So in a situation where Israel claims to be fighting terrorist groups solely, but is actually attempting ethnic cleansing, I'm feeling that when it comes to Israeli right-wingers, the best course of action is actually to stay on the side of Russia, because Russia is not going to condemn you. Russia is not going to do shit against you. The West might. The West is threatening to take away military support. The West is writing letters of condemnation of you hitting the UN workers. Russia would not do that. So I'm not... You know, I think when we talk about Israel being on the side of Israel, I think it still leaves open the question of, like, where are they going to go? And I don't know where they are going to go. And then their support of Trump, for me, is also a bit... I don't know. Hassan gonna get you banned? Oh no! I'm aligning with USA definitions of what a terrorist group is. Oh shit! Has no bola? I mean, at this point, yeah. At this point, yeah. Completely destroying terrorists is nearly impossible, but trying forever in endless war is very good for Bibi politically. But then there's the thing of, like, if you weaken terrorists enough, if you destroy enough of their logistics, if you destroy enough of the group so that everything that ties them together and makes them as dangerous as they are is gone, plus if you manage to go for Iran, so you destroy their strongest founder and supporter, you're actually creating some sort of what represents a victory for you. You didn't completely destroy them. You're never going to completely destroy a group, right? But you still gained a victory. They can't be as dangerous as they used to be. So I'm feeling that would be... maybe a possible course of action. Hamas can't be destroyed while you're also flattening Gaza. There will always be a resistance movement. Yeah, that too. But then again, like, you can... If you kill their leaders, and if you kill enough of the group, enough of the higher-ups organizing these actions and everything, right? Organizing how to get military support and shit, you can weaken it enough for it to be some sort of a victory for your cause. But then that would, require also getting rid of Iran in that area. No, Israel has been either neutral or siding with Russia, I believe. Bibi has been rather close to Putin for a very long time. I'm not really trusting their position on this. Due to the amount of Russian Jews. Yeah, too. I understand that. Just kind of stupid to have that relationship with Israel, considering the fact that Russian propagandists in the West, right, are among the strongest voices to be against Israel, against Israelis overall, right? I don't know. The relationship is still ongoing, which makes me not trust Israel. Why is there still a relationship with Russia in the first place? Why are we seeing any sort of, let's say, tolerance between the two? Like, Russia is very openly your enemy. Why are you still trying to, like, escape the opportunity to condemn it very openly and to support Ukraine as much as can be? It does a lot of damage to the terrorist infrastructure, and then they go back home and let the terrorists rebuild. And then repeats that. Yeah, I do feel if you remove the side supporting their efforts to rebuild, I do feel you could genuinely weaken them to the point where it does matter. But again, this would require an actual move against Iran, and I don't know if Bibi is willing to actually do a move against Iran. Right-wing populists, probably gargling Putin's balls. A lot of them are. A lot of them are. Only non-US future for Israel I could see work is some weird India-Israel alliance. That is true. That is true. But then I think this is why they are supportive of Trump winning. Because Trump winning would mean that, like the current situation we have with the West, where the West is condemning Israel, to some point, of course, but to some point it's condemning Israel for the civilian deaths in Gaza, right? And threatening to lessen the military aid and support and everything. The current issue that Israel has coming from the West would not exist if Trump is elected, because Trump would be okay with it. So they don't necessarily need to leave USA behind. They don't necessarily need to separate from USA if Trump wins. Now, if Kamala wins, that might be interesting, and this is where I think they're going to have to actually juggle between, you know, going the side of the West or going the side of Russia. But if Trump wins, it's like, yeah, we can stay close to Trump, and we can also gargle Russia's balls, because why not? Why not? They're both the same trash anyways. Hindu nationalists already love Israel, and they share their disdain for Islam. Oh shit, that too. One illegal Israeli settlement named after an American president. Yeah, I learned about it rather recently. It's named after Trump. It's named after Trump. Man! Israel will never do to Hamas and Hezbollah what the US did to Al-Qaeda and ISIS. Israel won't seal terrorists on its borders. I don't know how much... I don't know how much they want terrorists on their borders versus how much it's been quite impossible to destroy Iran. So you can't really destroy terrorist groups like that unless you go balls deep. And I don't think they wanted to go balls deep. Not that they wanted. Maybe they did want, I don't know. But I don't think there ever was a genuine impetus to go balls deep. Which, if they genuinely understood the danger of Russia, I feel it would be happening, and I feel then we would see them actually fighting Iran. But in the current situation, I don't really know. To me, it feels like they're trying to sit on two chairs. Didn't Israel go right-wing when all the Russians arrived after collapse of USSR? Russia has an interesting relationship with Israel because of Russian Jews in Israel. Well, yeah, they fucked it up. I mean, it could also be that. It could also be that. I don't know too much about the history of Israeli-Russia relationship, to be completely honest. But yeah, that makes sense to me. Wait, I wanted to Google this, but let me play you some. Let me play you some Jake.
This is the case of Oh Chung-sung. Oh Chung-sung
Actually, like, we can just Google it on stream. Why would I be Googling it on my phone? Yeah, I'm seeing the 4th October, 3rd October, 4th October, 6th October. 6th October. Let's see what it says. It's been 2 weeks since Iran attacked Israel, and there has been no response yet. US received guarantees that Iran's oil and nuclear facilities will not be targets, at least this time. Russia is pressuring for a limited retaliation. No, wasn't this older news? No, it says today. I'm sure I've read this before. Netanyahu is expected to hold a limited consultation regarding the response on Friday, and on Sunday the Political Security Cabinet will convene. After the Washington Post and Wall Street Journal reported Netanyahu informed the Biden administration that he plans to attack Iran, though they completely messed up here, military targets and not oil or nuclear facilities, the New York Times also reported on the decision, but emphasized that the decision only refers to the response to the most recent attack. So it's not like overall fight against Iran, but it's just the response part. A final decision has not yet been made, and the Israeli response attack could still be large in scope, which may lead to several rounds of attacks. Two sources familiar with the matter said that Israel's assurances to Americans touched on the upcoming attack, which means that Israel can still hit more ambitious targets in future rounds of attacks against Iran. Biden administration believes that sending the air defense system with about 100 soldiers to operate it, they get that and Ukraine gets nothing, is expected to somewhat alleviate Israel's fears of the Iranian response. Reports from the past few days indicate that the arrival of that battery is considered part of the coordination between Israel and the US and possibly is a return that Israel received in exchange for responding to US requests to refrain from attacking nuclear facilities. Why is Ukraine not getting shit for respecting USA requests to not hit balls deep into Russia, but Israel gets rewarded? Some bullshit. US officials warned that the assurances received by the United States are not set in stone and the circumstances may change. They said Israel had a mixed past regarding keeping promises and that more than once internal politics led to change. I don't know why. Moscow maintains contact at various levels with Israel and conveyed Russia's concerns regarding a possible Israeli response to Iran. We are in contact with the embassies. Our ambassador also maintains contacts through other channels and they are conducted daily. Meh. Bullshit. Oh, what is this? Israel's Russian-speaking community and how it's changing the country. 2020. Over 1 million people who immigrated to Israel from the former Soviet Union in a way from the beginning of the 1990s have changed Israel to its core, socially, politically, economically, culturally. Within the first 6 years, they formed what became a large secular nationalist political camp that secures a right-wing rule to this day. Experts both in Israel and Russia define the socio-political profile of the first generation of these immigrants as prototype of Homo Sovieticus. Great, they're an entirely separate species of fuckers. Its leading political representative, former foreign minister and defense minister, who heads what is still perceived as the only Russian sectarian party, is often seen as a post-Soviet leader, void of ideology, promoting an agenda of fear and incitement. His newly adopted anti-Orthodox agenda appeals to the younger Russian-speaking generation and empowers parliamentary and extra-parliamentary opposition to his former ally, long-standing Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Man. The way of immigrants finds itself on two unresolved collision courses. First is the unbridgeable gap between the Zionist secular law of return that allows all Jews to settle in Israel and the rabbinical orthodoxy in charge of their absorption, which defines hundreds of thousands of members of the Russian-speaking community as non-Jews. They become victims of the empowerment of orthodoxy by the political alliance they formed with Netanyahu. The other collision course between the Jewish law of return and the total denial of Palestinian right to return is a constant source of friction and animosity between the two communities and their leaders. 3 decades since the onset of this wave of immigration, there is still a distinct Russian-speaking community, culturally and politically, often misunderstood by veteran Israeli society and politicians. Oh, holy shit, we're gonna save the... There's a whole paper. Download the full report. Oh shit, I'm saving this. Wait, thank you. Holy crap, I have to read that report. I'm so interested in that. You can be sure when you're reading headlines like Israel is going to attack Iran, that Israel will not attack Iran. Yeah, I see that. I see that. Would be too boring right now. A lot of Jews had to escape Russia due to pogroms there. True. I think though it is, I like the idea of calling them Homo Sovieticus, because yeah, there were a lot of Jews who had to escape Russia, and for that reason they settled in Israel. But at the same time, I think what's important is that these are still Russians. These are still Soviet people. The fact that they're Jewish doesn't change the fact that they got rotted away by the Soviet culture there, and then they brought it over to Israel. So reading the report might be really, really interesting to see if any of them actually were from other countries of the Soviet Union. I'm very interested in which ones they were from. But at the same time, truly, if we're talking about specifically Russians coming out, I'm not surprised at all that they would be influencing the culture negatively. It's just what they do. Europe gives Ukraine until 9th December to resolve Ukraine problems. It has to maintain compliance with European standards or risk losing its European certification as a power operator. What? Incomplete composition of the supervisory board supposed to mediate the Ministry of Energy's control. 7 of its members are appointed by the ministry, 4 should be independent and elected through a competitive procedure. Currently, the board has only 4 members, 3 of whom are appointed by the ministry, 1 is independent. The independent position has been vacant since 2022. 2 other independent members resigned in September 2024 after the dismissal of Volodymyr Kudrytsky, head of Ukrenegro. Why? On 9th December, the mandate of the remaining independent member expires, so they will have no independent members. It is vital that all 4 independent members be appointed without delay. I feel that might be fixable, right? Am I coping on this? I feel that might be fixable. It's like what, a month and a half? The second point is the issue of charter. The charter has to be revised with the aim of strengthening the role of an independent supervisory board in the company's decision-making. Okay, that might take a bit longer. Ministry of Energy has obligation to create a separate unit to independently coordinate the fuel and energy sector operators. Secretariat does not currently have information on whether such a unit has already been created and whether it's functioning properly. Lots of fucking changes. Lots of fucking changes, but I'm feeling this should be fixable. I'm feeling there's enough time to fix it. And it's also good to make it able to function independently. I feel that's alright. lots of changes, but it might be possible. Ideological immigrants to Israel, they are usually from the US or Western Europe. I'm not looking for ideological ones in that sort of a way, because I don't think Russians move to countries ideologically. Like you don't see them moving to Hungary. No, you don't see the fucktards moving there. You see them going to countries where they will have a good life, a better life than they have in Russia, and without abandoning their culture, they will rot the country from inside. Yeah, Germany is, I feel, you know how strong of a community they have, you know how they have held protests to open Nord Stream 2 before it got blown up, how they are attacking Ukrainians on the street, how some Ukrainian refugees were killed in Germany by Russians. They don't go to Germany because of ideological similarities to Germany. They go to Germany because Germany offers them a better life. And then they never abandon the Russian culture and they just bring the rot with them. If there are any Jewish intelligentsia left in Russia, they will not immigrate to Israel. Russian yeah, whatever it is, right? But it's not, I'm not saying they're moving to Israel ideologically. I don't think they're moving to Israel ideologically. I don't think it was ever about the ideology, regardless of the fact that they are Russian Jews. It was never about ideology. It was about the fact that, hey, I could be living better in this country, so I'm gonna go in this country, and I'll never actually analyze why life in my former country was worse than the life I have here. I'll never actually be thinking about it. I'll never look into that shit. So I'll just bring the rot around. I feel it's the same danger as, you know, when we have those videos, like there has recently been a video of, I think in France, of people calling for, how was it? It was a specific Muslim law that they were demanding to be introduced. And like you have a bunch of people in the countries calling to introduce laws that are, you know, highly oppressive to the population. And of course, France was like, the fuck is that? We're not going to do that shit. Shakira. I can't remember what it was because there was like 2 different laws that they called for. And I looked into one of them and I was like, damn, this is bullshit. So I didn't even look into the other one. And France didn't really take it seriously, you know? But it's a very similar situation of like you have a bunch of economic migrants coming into your country. We're not talking refugees, we're talking economic migrants in the French situation specifically, right? And then they never do analysis of like, hey, why was my country a shithole and why did I come here? Why was my country full of crap? Why did I go to a Western country instead? Why didn't I just stay home and chill there? No. You just come to another country and you bring your rot with it. Very similar to, I want to say, Croatians going to Germany. And then in Germany, we open companies that are corrupt as fuck. Like, why are we doing that? At this point, if you are from Croatia and if you go to work in Germany, it is highly advised you do not work for Croats. Like, do not have a Croatian boss. Do not work in a Croatian company. There's several of them open there. They're all corrupt as shit. They do close in a matter of like half a year, depending on when the corruption is uncovered. Because they usually have workers employed without a contract and shit like that. And then once Germany figures out that you are doing this, they ban you from the country. Like you can't come work in Germany again at all if they figure out you've been working without a contract, right? But it's a very similar situation to that. Like our people go there, just bring the rot there. Why would you do that? Where in the process do you not think about, hey, why was working in my home country so shit? Why did I want to go to another country to have a better life? Where's the thought process? And it's not all of them, of course. But still, it's like, it's such a stupid thing to do. Yeah, they'll be Z posting from the new country and they never understand why they had to leave to a new country. It's like with, what's his name? No fuckers. Just like going around pretending to understand what the Russian problem is, but he doesn't understand. He has no fucking idea why he left Russia. He never once goes deeper into figuring out the problem with Russian culture. Never once. It's such a stupid little thing to do. They didn't want Putin in power. They didn't want to invade Ukraine. Bullshit. It's bullshit. First law is hips don't lie through. Albania creating a Muslim... Hey, fuck, I haven't read too much about it. I saw some Serbs making fun of it. I saw some Serbs making fun of it. Yeah, don't trust Croatians, true. Integrating takes effort, and it's easier to demand everyone else adapts to you. Yeah, it's such a stupid thing, isn't it? It's such a stupid thing to do. Because, like, what are you gaining? You're just creating the same shithole as the one you came from. What are you gaining? How are you so stupid? How? And then I don't even know how you can sufficiently fight against this without severely limiting the number of immigrants you allow in your country in the first place. Like, how do you fight against this without some sort of a practice that could be deemed discriminatory? For example, when it comes to Croatian firms opening corrupt businesses in Germany, right? How do you fight against this unless you implement regulatory checkups on like all Croatian companies in Germany? But that would be seen as discriminatory, wouldn't it? Like if you come regularly into that and you demand all workers give you the evidence that they have a contract to be working for the company, it would be seen as discrimination against them. But at the same time, if you don't do it regularly, they are just working there for a while, scamming their own people. So I don't know. 21st September 2024, Edi Rama announced plans to create a sovereign state of the Bektashi order as a gesture of religious tolerance and to promote more positive views of Islam in Albania and the rest of the world. Doesn't Albania already have good views of Islam? It's a proposed European microstate and city-state that would be enclaved entirely within Tirana. Okay. It would be smaller than Vatican City and become the sovereign state with the smallest land area in the world. Following the Vatican model, the prospective state would grant citizenship solely to Bektashi clerics and government officials. What is Bektashi order? Islamic Sufi mystic order that originated in 13th century Anatolia. I have no idea what Eddie is attempting to do with this. But talking about Edi Rama, and something that I do actually understand what he's doing, they started with... wait. Look at me Googling like a professional. Look at me Googling like a professional. Italy actually started to be... how would you say it? It's sending the immigrants attempting to arrive to Italy, it's sending them to Albania instead to be screened, so they don't go all to Italy. So it's like more arrival centers formed means more people can be processed faster. It started... 42 minutes ago it was posted. I think it was like yesterday, the first time that I docked. Ish. Italian officials expect the center will never be at full occupancy, but that depends on the flow of migrants brought to Albania. In Albania, the migrants retain their right under international and European Union law to apply for asylum in Italy and have their claims processed there. It's a move expected to take a maximum of 28 days, including any appeal case to process. Italy has agreed to welcome those who are granted asylum. Those whose applications are rejected face deportation directly from Albania. That. It was 16, all while 900 arrived same day in Lampedusa by boat. Oh, that's great. That is great. That is incredible. Yeah, 16 intercepted migrants. 900 arrived the same day. Holy shit. 2 centers will cost Italy 670 million euros over 5 years. The facilities are run by Italy and are under Italian jurisdiction, while Albanian guards provide external security. 900 though. I mean, it is. I do feel this is a good move by Meloni. I feel it's a good move. I do wonder how she's going to fix the issue of migrants coming directly to Italy and flooding the borders anyways, right? Because it's really hard to divert more of them towards Albania. It would be hard as fuck. They have like a rather tiny, relatively tiny path to cross over to Italy, right? And then if you want to ship them all the way to Albania, it's going to require a lot more effort. I don't know how they managed to, how they plan to make this effective. But I'm GG with like the idea of more arrival centers being built and of cooperating with non-European Union countries there. Massively unpopular among Albanians? I expect that. I expected that. Any sort of, I think, sharing the burden among European Union countries and non-European Union members is going to be quite unpopular with the population right now when it comes to conversations about immigration. Anything we do, any sort of a step we implement, if it creates the idea more immigrants are going to come, is going to be a problem. I still feel in long term this is good if it manages to be actually functional and not like getting 16 people out of 900. I do feel it could speed up the process. To be fair, I'm mostly positive about speeding up the process of repatriating people who don't get their asylum request granted. I'm positive about like shooing them back faster. I kinda am very positive about that idea, and I think it's one of big problems that has been talked about a lot in European Union overall. And I think that by being more effective in it, we are kind of taking away the fuel of a lot of right-wingers in that regard, because they're the ones currently pretending that they are the only ones who want to do this in the first place. And I feel that by making it effective under more, let's say, normal governments, we might be evening the field in that. What do you do with host countries that refuse to take them back? I have no idea. I have no fucking idea about that. I genuinely, I don't know. I don't know. I know Meloni talked about the need to get more countries to agree to take back migrants attempting to get the asylum request and then it gets denied. I don't know how she plans to do that. I'm assuming there's going to be some incentives for them to agree to a deal. I don't know what they're going to be. I genuinely have no fucking idea. Maybe we do the UK thing and we just like chunk them into one single country. Oh, you remember that? What was the deal? When a UK wanted to just like take all the refugees and just chunk them somewhere. And I remember it was, oh fuck, which country was it? I remember there were some Albanians. Yeah, Rwanda, it was Rwanda. Yeah, there were some Albanians. They chucked some Albanians into Rwanda too. That was so funny to me. Like, imagine being an Albanian, running away from Albania, right? You try to go into UK. UK is like, nah, you don't get the asylum. You're from fucking Albania. What do you need an asylum for? Albania is a chill country to be in. So they put you on a plane and they send you to Rwanda. That was such a good thing for me. I actually, just for like the comedy part, I support sending all Albanians attempting to illegally flee into other countries. I support sending them all to Rwanda. I think that's funny as shit. Yeah, the idea was a huge flop. But I think it's one possible solution to as what you do with host countries that refuse to take these people back. Like, you just chunk all of them into one country. I see how they reached the conclusion. I do see why it was very unpopular. But also, I kind of see how they reach the conclusion. You know, I can't really say that it's a mysterious sequence of events in my mind. Europe just needs to give up on the idea of general asylum. The system doesn't work anymore. What would we replace it with, though? What would we do? Financial incentives that Rama government will pocket? Possibly. Though European Union does already work. What's the word? It does work with Albania already. Like, it is giving Albania funding already. So, wait, do we have them on the... Nah, bullshit, we have none of them. I feel they already are getting incentives to cooperate with the European Union, so at least some of the funds might be going to the population, actually. Oh, I have to look into the issues with the asylum system. Then you're making me think, because I had the assumption, not about the number limit. I understand the number limit has been a big problem in this conversation, but I had the assumption we already do prioritize certain cases. I'll need to look into that. I was under the assumption that we already do that. Maybe not as effectively as it likely should be, but I had the assumption we already do. No, wait. It all she goes. No. Italian politics, world migration. Look at Eritreans, they get automatic asylum because dangerous regime, but they all go back for vacation there. See, how do we solve that though? Poland. Poland is presenting plans to suspend the right to asylum within Poland's territory, like the entirety of that? Ooh. Poland has for several years seen an increase in irregular immigration across its border with non-EU state Belarus. Opinion polls are showing Poles are broadly against taking further refugees from around Europe. Now, in light of continued crossings over the border with Belarus, he appears ready to seal off the border, at least temporarily. He was imposing steep fines on Hungary for refusing to comply with orders. Orban is threatening to bus asylum seekers directly to Brussels. Germany also announced they would more tightly control their own land borders and not allow asylum seekers in. At the time of its announcement, Tusk was highly critical of Germany, suggesting that by closing off its borders to asylum seekers, it was neglecting its duties to neighboring member states. In Poland's case, this latter point is not an issue, as Belarus is not an European Union member state. Oh, shit. For years, Poland and other member states have accused Belarus and Russia of weaponizing refugees by sending them across the border into European Union territory. I wonder, like, he said, where was it? Not he was there writing on it, that the opinion polls show Poles are broadly against taking further refugees from around Europe. Are we GG with Ukrainian refugees? Is it like... Because Belarus is not sending Ukrainian refugees, right? Belarus is shipping people from outside of Europe and then sending them over the border. So it's like Poland GG with Ukrainian refugees, but not GG with everyone sent by Belarus. Oh, they're okay with Ukrainian refugees. I mean, considering the situation on the Belarusian border, I can't even disagree with that. Only thing the asylum system is used for nowadays is for corrupt people to flood the country with terrorists. To be fair though, when it comes to like Syrian refugees, for example, I do feel like we created a rather fucked situation by allowing Russia to bomb them for such a long time, and I don't know what that would do then. I don't really know, but also I very much doubt that Syrian refugees are among the refugees that go home for vacation. Also, I don't know why you would get stats on like who goes home for vacation. I do wonder if there's like a list for every group of refugees. I do feel if you go home for a vacation, that's a bit of a thing. That's a bit of a problem in granting the asylum. I do see the problem with that. I love the assault tanky refugees there. Do we even get that from Syria? I was under the assumption assault tankies are mostly a Russian breed. Russian breed and like Western self-hating breed. I wasn't under the assumption it's like actual Syrians. But also I have to go to work. Almost forgot, I have to go working. My dude, I have a job today. Did you know that? I have a job today. So I'll be leaving in a few minutes. I'll be ending the stream, going to get dressed, and then leaving. We got Syrians running into their torturers here. Shit. How do you fix that? That's just a messy thing. How do you fix that? Man, this is fucking sucks. Like, it makes sense why the easiest way to get votes on this is just for the right-wingers to be like, we don't want anyone. We want pure Europe. We don't want anyone closing all the borders, not accepting anyone foreign. Because it really is the one IQ, like, path to take. Because all of the other paths you would be willing to take are like what do? You get a group of Syrian refugees and you know their country is, in a horrible situation. How do you check who's a tanky? How do you fucking check? Do we give every single refugee a test to see if they actually, support the regime like Russians do when they run away from Russia because they want their asses to be saved, but they're actually quite okay with Russia and everything it's doing? How do we figure that out? Like, are you genuine opposition? Or are you just a piece of crap? Who are you?
1,337 redeemed shout out.
Queen Dwellip of the Great Albanian Empire. Hell yeah. If someone only buys cucumbers, bananas, condoms, and lube at your shop, would you even notice at this point? We don't have lube. I do notice condom buyers because we have like 3 of them. There's not many people buying condoms. The shop is rather... it's set in a village, and the village is mostly old people. Very rarely do people buy condoms. Lube can be anything. That's true. If they buy oil or something, I would not notice. That's actually true now that you mention it. Yeah. If you're creative enough, I would not notice that. I do notice condoms. It's mostly teenagers, and they're mostly very scared of buying it. And I try to be like... I try not to make the situation worse, because I'm supportive of... people buying
_Jones redeemed change the flag. Estonia.
Condoms when they fucking need them. I'm very supportive of fighting against teenage pregnancy rates. So I do notice those, but when it comes to older people, they mostly don't. Yeah, old couples don't really buy condoms. It's really hard for older people to get pregnant. It's hard for old women to get pregnant, and it's hard for old men to make babies in the first place. They do it raw. They do it raw. I don't know if he wanted to know this, but Dr. K was actually talking about this. I have to leave, actually, but listen, this is an important thing for you to know. Dr. K was talking about this, how when you work in hospitality? Is that what it is? What's the word for, like, nursing homes and shit? There was a word for, like, all of them, continuously. And he was like, when you get training to work in nursing homes, one of the things that they warn you about is how easily STDs spread there. Because it's a bunch of old people just chilling with each other. They're making new connections. They're meeting new people. A lot of them will be having lots of sex. But at the same time, they know they can't make children, right? They know it's really hard for you in your fucking 70s to stay pregnant. Like, the possibility is basically non-existing. So they don't use condoms. That's a part of the reason why STDs spread so quickly. He compared it to the spread of COVID. Like, so quickly. It's everywhere, right? Because they just don't use condoms. They just do it raw. They don't need condoms. Why would you need a condom? So, it's also why it's important to do proper sex education, though. So people know that without a condom, it's not only about making children, it's also about protecting yourself from STDs. But a lot of people don't know, so it's like, oh, I can't make a child, why would I use it? Alaknix, welcome to the stream. Some American companies in Ukraine have actually rules, specifically no corruption, absolutely ever, even if it's okay in that country. Like here. You could only buy lube at a pharmacy, which is more awkward to specifically only buy than to hide it amongst your other shopping. Oh yeah, I see that too. I see that too. I don't know, I'm not really having an awkward time myself when I go buy something. But to be fair, you know what it is? Usually I'm like, okay, I need to buy like something. And the work is not going to remember me. You know, they don't even notice. They sell this shit all the time. They don't even notice. But then I started working at a shop. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. We do notice. We do notice. It's not really good for, like, if you have social anxiety or something. I have social anxiety. So it wasn't a good revelation for me. But, like, I do notice. And when people are buying something and they're awkward, I do notice. And when they missay something, when they mispronounce a certain thing, and you know how you're usually like, oh, she's going to forget about it until the end of the day. I likely will not. Sometimes we make fun of certain people with our colleagues. It wasn't really a good revelation, but I think it was was the one I needed to have to be more scared of social interactions. So they do notice if you're buying condoms. They genuinely do notice if you're buying condoms. Maybe like, yeah, it's not. If you go in between other people who are also buying something like that, or if they are being more awkward than you, they will forget about you. But usually, especially if you come, like I always talk about this one teenager who came to buy condoms in the shop, and he was scared and he was like shaking. And I thought he wants to buy cigarettes, because we get teenagers often who want to buy cigarettes, but they're not 18. And then I ask for the ID card, and then they're like, oh, I forgot it at home. Bullshit. So he's there, and he's like shaking, and he's visibly nervous. And I'm like, hey, what do you want? And he's like, Durex. And we have two brands. And I show him, not two brands, but like one is original and the one is extra safety. So I show him Durex, and I'm like, oh, which one do you want? And he's like, any. He was so fucking nervous. Like, it was kind of cute. But he was so nervous. And no, I didn't forget about it at the end of the day. I still like remember his little face when I showed him that there's two different ones and he has to pick. But yeah, true, it might also be like in cities it's different, because here we just don't get a lot of interesting customers. So it's easier to remember when someone is being a bit out of the ordinary. Didn't see you had extra large. Guess I'll make it one XL. I do have coworkers who do that sort of a thing. I've learned it makes the situation more awkward in a way that it's not just awkward for the customer, it's also awkward for me. Because, like, if I make a joke, what happens is the customer has a response. Usually, they either try to respond with a joke or they try to, like, soften it down. And regardless of what I do, it's like an awkward situation for me, because now I'm like, what do I say to that? So I just don't do it. I just like do a checkout and I'm like, yeah, goodbye. Thank you for shopping with us. Have to go to work, by the way. Stay strong, stay healthy, go to gym, get strong as fuck. I will be seeing you hopefully this Friday. So until Friday, if there's anything you would like to talk about, let me know. Send it to Discord or just like send it here on stream so I can